Flip it
God's
live,
Day?
Wine Mom.
Or God's Day. Okay.
Okay,
God's Day.
flip it live. I'll
you-
just peace out when you put the intro on.
There's no intro
Are
for
we
the
recording
movie
this
club
or
yet.
we're doing it live?
Doing it
Okay.
Live now.
Okay.
Well,
We got live
if you
mics
just
meow.
want, if you're trying to just tell me to fucking leave, then just tell me that's what you want.
Well, I thought you might want to run out. I'm trying to support a safe
Unless you
environment for this
wanna
creative
stay.
space.
I was busy yelling at you for telling us on Friday that
Well,
you're
how
not going
would
to
you
be
be
there
busy
until
yelling at
10
us for an hour?
p.m. on a Monday.
It's the after school program. It's fucking, I'll explain it after, but it got
After school
annoying.
program? Nice.
Politics. Man's got it booked. He tried to set it up, but then they gave him extra stipulations, and then it fucked up the entire schedule.
Well, you guys
Holy
just lost
hell.
Panda, so
Panda
He's
gave
right
up on
there. He's right there.
Oh yeah, I gotta take the movies out.
I'm so dead. Ugh.
Zellers is back in my town.
Zellers? I went to
Zellers?
Zellers today. I went
Yeah,
to
it's
Zellers
back
today. I went to
in my
Zellers
town.
today.
I'll probably go
went.
tomorrow.
You sound
went
proud
to
of
the-
it, Wine Mom. What did you get?
I took
She said
Nana.
she's go. Oh,
My Nana wanted to go, so I took her.
Wow.
Why are you shaking your head? What is your problem?
he's gonna be a haterade.
First of all, you're mute, so go ahead and shake your head all you want, because nobody can hear anything you're saying. So ha 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 ha.
Oh, Panda! Oh, you're doing. I thought you were doing Bailey.
Oh
Oh.
God! If you're
cut
shaking
off.
your head, if you're shaking your head, because you didn't get to go to Zellers, you can shut the fuck up, because I texted you and I said, "What are you doing today?" And I didn't hear back from you until
you said
later.
How's it doing, Bailey?
anything.
Long
I
day?
texted you
It's
and I was
feeling good,
like,
yeah. I shot some
before I
Mercedes
left.
today.
I
That was a fun
texted you before.
experience.
Shut up, guys. I texted you before and you didn't answer me. And then Nana
The lots
called
were
me and
real
was like,
tight.
I
It
wanna
was
go to
really hard
Zellers.
because I'm driving
Yeah.
like
So
a
I took Nana to
$70,000
Zellers.
car, and I have to make sure I don't hit the
Yeah.
other $70,000
Yeah.
cars.
Yeah.
You know, you guys are not funny. Shut up before I mute you.
How was the Mercedes?
This is Cody's fault because my
I
grandma
found that the
said
CL, I didn't like
Shut
the
up!
turn radius
Shut
on the
up!
SUVs.
no, because Nana said, "Where's Cody?" I said, "He didn't answer my text message, so I went out without him." That's how it goes. Get up before 4:00 in the afternoon.
And then the sun was, it was really difficult to shoot in that lot because I couldn't predict the angle of the sun, so I had to
Okay.
adjust my camera a lot.
I'm not taking the blame for this one, so don't be a grumpy bitch. Also, just so you know, the Zellers is a ripoff. It's literally one little tiny section on the third
It sucked
floor of the
anyways,
bed.
okay? So it's good you didn't come.
No, listen, it didn't even have anything nostalgic. There was no vibes. It was basically a bunch of stuff that they ordered from the same people who shipped to Miniso. It was not at all what I expected it to be. It was disappointing.
Miniso is kind of lit.
Yeah, yo, the vibes were mad
Hey,
off.
Miniso is lit, but not Miniso version of Zellers.
It's a pop-up, by the way.
Yeah, it isn't.
Yeah, it
supposed to
wasn't
be
even
like
a
an
pop-up,
actual-
okay? It wasn't
No.
even a pop-up.
Yes,
It was
like
a pop-up
a little
god now?
corner.
You know
It was
all
a little
about things
corner.
that pop up?
Don't piss me off.
Barely with the
piss
pop-up.
me off.
Hey! Do you know about pop-ups? Let me hear about
I
something
know
about
about
pop-ups.
pop-ups.
He's really good at
Okay,
whack-a-mole.
I know about pop-ups.
He's just gonna be there for a while, and you live closer to town center, so that's your fault. Wake up when people text you. Stop sleeping all fucking day.
It's Panda. It's in your mind. It's a mind. You've got to get out of your mind, Panda.
Well,
Panda,
okay,
if you
what
want to
am I supposed to
participate,
do?
you gotta be on call, okay? You're not allowed to participate unless you're available. And
Okay. So should I have waited until 6:00 when he finally rolled out of bed and started answering messages? Should I have waited until then when my grandma wanted to go? Should I have waited until 6?
It's okay.
I don't know,
Grandma
but
would have
Raza,
been okay with this.
Anywhere, and
it was
Nana
really
wants to
cool.
go
I
to
shot on
Zellers.
the floor of the Mercedes dealership today. And it
I
was
Yeah.
swear to God,
swish-
Bailey, I'm gonna
I was practically, I had
I'm
my
gonna
butt on
roll
this
your
guy's
ass
desk,
so
pretty
hard.
much.
I want
Yeah.
nothing more than to punch you in the throat.
It was really awkward
like-
because all their desks
Stop
were
it.
there, and
Sell
I had to
cars
just
now?
like take photographs
Raza.
amidst the desks.
Raza.
Yes.
Don't entertain him. Listen,
But I like Mercedes. Oh.
I am being rolled over right now.
I drove a C class. I drove a B class.
The
Fuck you.
empathy goes out the door.
Fuck you. Fuck you. You
I
stink.
hope you enjoyed Zellers.
Hey.
I hope you went to the pop-up diner where they have pop-up sandwiches
Yeah,
and
did they
pop-up
have that?
sodas.
No diner. They had nothing.
Oh, that sucks.
Hey, yeah, you
What's
got
that?
it. Good movie.
No.
Fuck yeah, the
All
new
they
Dragon
had-
Ball movie.
Haven't seen
All
it
they
yet.
had was a good pet section.
It's good to know.
They had
Oh,
they
good.
had an ice cream truck for cats.
I'll never
I'm-
know for sure
gonna
in
buy it.
person. So
You know,
And I
the fire
I'm
gets
gonna buy
thrown.
the ice cream truck for
The
avocado.
more the fire gets thrown, the bigger it is, guys. Is what I'm pointing out.
this
Listen,
was a joke all
listen.
along.
I literally do not have a single speck of sympathy or sadness towards Panda not coming to Zellers. I literally do not care at all. I do not feel bad.
Clearly.
I am not waiting all day. Okay, bye. I'm not waiting all day for Panda to wake up to go to Zellers.
You're mean.
All right.
My grandpa wanted to go. What am I supposed to, Cody? I tell you this all the time.
Panda, if this were me, I'd dedicate an entire day. I'd be like,
I
hey,
wait until 4 p.m. on a
In
regular
places
basis.
that like she would like to go. To
Cody,
myself, right?
Cody, I texted you.
Yeah, I'll text you at 3 a.m. when my day
Oh my
starts
god, I
going.
didn't text you at 3 a.m., you asshole. I texted
No.
you at like 11 or 12
Yeah, I'm going
o'clock.
based off my schedule. Okay, if you're not
So,
up, then-
okay, Zellers isn't open at 3 a.m.
are you sick, my mom?
Isn't open at 3 a.m. Why
Maybe
you
this
making me
pop-up
yell?
is. So now you know what pop-up hours are?
Oh my god! I'm being reasonable. He's not.
Hey, it's okay.
It's
You
okay.
can't just sleep all day and then we miss the hours to do stuff if I wait.
That's fair. That's fair.
That's
Is it not,
justified.
Raza? Are you gonna have my back now?
Yes. Hey, Panda, you I don't know.
If you want to go to Zellers, you have to be up during Zellers hours.
How long is the pop up for? Is it like going
I
on
don't
for a couple of
know.
months?
It's gonna be there for a while. They made a lot of fucking money.
Yeah.
They had a huge lineup. It's gonna be there for probably into the summer.
Oh, I wanted to go there, like, cause I know the one near my place has like 2 stories, so I want
So go, stupid.
That might not be a pop-up. That might be official brought back.
Yeah, go.
They
If
do
it's
tend
an actual,
to
like-
launch in his region. He also had one of the first targets is because of the proximity to the border. A lot of the American companies test in St. Catharines.
We're also getting a Shake Shack.
Ooh.
He got one.
Yeah, I don't know where it's going, so maybe that's the one. But Canada's getting a Shake Shack.
Canada is getting a Shake Shack, and I know where it is. Dufferin Station. What?
What
I
are you
don't know,
talking
just-
about?
I don't know. I don't know what
He's
I'm
just
saying
trying to
anymore.
stop the fighting. He doesn't want to watch his mom fight anymore, okay? And
Okay,
we gotta
it doesn't
talk about
matter.
drumming so Raza can
There's
kill
no
Satan.
fight. Listen, there's no fight. There's only me being right.
Satan.
Now I'm gonna go because you guys are being jerks, and I've had enough.
First of all, Bailey's being the jerk here. Panda and I are just,
Ah,
you know,
ah,
engaging you.
no.
Don't include me, Raza. Save yourself.
I'm just engaging you.
Okay, Raza. I forgive you all the time because you will take my back when it needs to be. But the other
Yes.
two, fuck you.
I just played by ear. I'm just like, let's just fucking.
Love you too.
Exactly. What time
Yeah.
does Booster Juice close?
You should have gotten up earlier.
Oh, you want a BJ?
Oh, Panda.
I mean, he could say that, but it's like I'm actually up in the hours that you could go to Booster Juice. His ass.
Oh, God.
isn't, so,
When the smoke gets cleared out, Panda just throws in a fucking
Yep.
napalm.
and that's why I'm definitely not taking him to fucking Zellers. He could go by himself. You can
I
walk.
had it all under control, Panda. I had
Yep.
it fixed.
So, Raza, I got this great new YouTube series idea
Anyways,
where we should
bye.
start checking out
Goodbye.
pop-up stores.
Bye. Goodbye. I'm not gonna have that from
Goodbye.
you, you wiener. Goodbye.
We're gonna talk about Whiplash too.
All right, okay. All right, good riddance. Sorry. Come on, that was lighthearted. I love Wide Mom. I'm grateful for her presence. I'm kind of sad she's not going to be here for this one because I think she's going to have many takes on the romantic aspects of this film that we watched.
Oh my god, this fucking game.
Wow, thank you, Raza. I appreciate that you're paying attention to us. It makes me feel valued.
Buddy, I have been paying attention to you since the day you. Hey, I'm
Are
not
you
taking
playing
that
Diablo?
back.
Are you playing Diablo as we're
I'm trying to play
talking
it.
about films? That's
I'm trying to play it.
We can keep this one light. I'll introduce it in the script. That
We may not. I'll be honest with you guys. We may not be able to jump into it since it's having a lot of problems. So we can substitute to that with good old Russ.
Okay, we can see what's good. I'll have to switch stream right quick, so there'll be a warning for VOD watchers as well as you guys. I have everything pre-prepped.
I shall monitor the situation as it goes. So sorry for talking. I don't care. Love you.
Okay, it's fair. Yeah, let us know, and then I'm just saying either way because we got to take a 5-second pause because I can't switch to gaming mode. I gotta cut it off to switch it to gaming.
Okay. Cool.
Okay.
No one. There's how quiet I got.
Well, yeah, because you cut me off. Panda felt that he was interrupting in business, and he was just trying to respect the boundaries.
Yeah.
You can read his eyes if you look at them lovingly and deeply, Raza. But you don't. You're too busy playing video games to pay attention to our micro emotions.
That's not true, Panda. I'm the one always there for you. I'm the one. No, I'm not.
I feel like a child in like an abusive relationship.
Yeah, it moves on. It's weird. First, it's like you and Wine Mom, and then it's me and Bailey. It's really weird.
My two gay dads and one mom.
I don't like this dichotomy. With the four of us here, we should none of us should be taking parental roles at all.
Nice use of dichotomy.
Me and you went to the same fucking school, all right? I have the same sort of journalism as me.
Mr. Self-Conscious here. I'm complimenting your use of a word, not questioning your integrity.
He said a slur, a very bad thing. In chat. Bipolar. He said I have bipolar disorder off the cusp. It was very insensitive to the bipolar disorder community. I could have hit him back with the how does it feel like going to therapy for made up problems, but I didn't because that would have been mean.
Yes, it was inconsiderate, and I regretted making that joke. But this man's, I thought I could talk in our Discord channel and not get exposed by the man next door. What is this? What is this? Everything's free game now? What are these pretzels are making me thirsty?
These pretzels?
Yeah, it's a Seinfeld reference.
Oh.
You guys watch Mando?
Yeah.
I saw the newest episode.
No.
It's okay. It's okay.
It has like one really.
It has moments.
Yeah.
Yeah, it has moments, but last week's episode was kind of like, why is this? Why do we? I don't know what. I'm starting to notice this in this Mandalorian show is that they have episodes that are, for some reason, and it's starting to feel a lot more. Season 3 is that they're self-contained. There are a lot more self-contained episodes.
Yeah,
like they're trying to do an overarching narrative, but I feel like every episode is like self-contained, and that's what I'm getting kind of confused about because season 2 was setting up for something big.
Yeah, it will all come around, I think.
Yeah, I hope so, but let's hope fucking Han Solo, D.H. Harrison Ford doesn't pop out of somewhere.
I think we're gonna be okay. I think we're gonna be okay. I think it's gonna be good, and I'm interested. I like that it's a little less meaningless and it's not Disneyified. I find it.
It is Disneyified. I find it's a little more Disneyified. I find season 1 the least one Disneyified.
I will still agree with that.
Yeah.
The Mandalorian creators are like, hey, let's do a whole episode with a brown actor. Raza's like, I hate it. I hate it. Stop doing this.
Is he brown?
I believe
thought
so.
He was off-white, but I don't know.
Oh, what is this now? What is this colorism I hear?
It's more like you can't tell race at that point in the future. So to me, it was like,
that doesn't count. Okay.
It's like the South Park thing where they all get beige into the future. South Park Cartman travels to the atheism beaver future, and all the humans are beige in that one.
Raza's
yeah,
just
bro.
racist against Gungans.
Yeah, man. And when I play Mass Effect, I'm always on the side of the human supremacists, and it says nothing about my political leanings.
Ashley, fucking, I killed her off. I remember messaging
Oh yeah,
Bailey.
I killed her right away. Yeah, I killed her.
I was just like, she's fucking gone, man. You
I said the B
save
word,
her
too. I'm not
ass.
supposed to say, God damn, problematic start.
You save her ass in 2, and she's still nice, and she's still like, aliens are bad. And I was like, oh, are you kidding me? My team of extraterrestrial, my diverse team of extraterrestrials just saved your shit, and you're gonna talk like this? It was, and like, I think she was like, oh, I remember in Mass Effect 3, she's like, oh, Shepard, I wish you and I had a future. And I'm thinking, we would have if you weren't so racist. So,
I marked her.
Yeah.
I was like,
I didn't
oh,
mark
God.
her. I just made her, throughout the entire series, I was just like, look what you lost. You could have had this. And that feels more satisfying. It's funny because my guy's brown in the games, so her racism doesn't work. It's not as impactful because she's still being like falling in love with a brown guy. And it's like, oh, man. I wonder if she's also like, it'd be kind of jokes if she is like not homophobic when you play as a female shepherd, but she's still racist. So it's just like, okay.
Yeah.
So you're good on one end and pretty fucked on the other end.
Yeah, fuck that character.
All of their designs look good in the remaster. That's probably one of them.
I will bet you money. I will bet money. You're also gonna see your homie Cal in Mando. That's the show that they're gonna use to bring Cal in. I bet you.
If they do, I'm gonna fucking get like a gun that's very good at shooting close range, and shoot at pellets, right? And I'm gonna put it in this area here, and that's gonna be the end of that. Right?
Okay.
If they do that.
Panda, I'm insistent that Cal from the Star Wars video games, I swear, because I know that they're leading up to a different inclusion in the series, but I'll bet money that they're going to introduce Cal to the series and the cinematic stuff through Mando. I bet you.
And they've already started, because this last episode of Mandalorian, they finally started talking about the Order 66. And,
so you did see the new one?
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah,
the latest one.
He did.
Okay.
Yeah,
I still know what happened. Though.
So what you were saying, like, obviously, I feel like they already touched on Order 66 a little bit with Grogu, but to have this happen again, I felt like they didn't need to separate it like
that.
They did.
Is my number one complaint when I saw the trailer of the show. I was like, hit the Order 66 button over and over and over and over again just to have any emotional depth. Because they need to do that for some reason. They can't just do it on its own. Grogu or whomever the fuck can't be associated with some other trauma. It has to be Order 66 for some reason. So I think this is what Bailey says, if they bring it in, because Cal Kestis is also impacted by this too. So if they bring that and I believe it also
Because they're
happens.
seeking, because at the same time, Cal is seeking the Force-sensitive children, and Luke is building his academy, as well as Grogu and Mando are on their adventures. So you could very easily have them just like dip dab for an episode.
Who knows? Grogu could be trained by Cal. By the way, that could
shit like
be
that.
a
Yeah.
thing. At the end, see if they do it that way, and then do it at the very end, where like it's like a 2-part episode, right? The season finale, and then Cal Kestis comes in the second part. Be like, okay, I'll help you out here because here's what they're doing. They're doing two good things with this. They're not tying itself to any Skywalker. They're still using a Jedi, but Cal Kestis isn't a Skywalker, right? He's his own thing, and Cal Kestis is like a good sort of like jumping off point to go in any direction because Cal Kestis' story hasn't been told outside of these 2 games.
Right.
Yeah, and so like what I'm seeing with the interviews with Johnny Boy and the Clone Wars guy Filoni is, I think what they're leading to is, even if the Mando might not be good because it's doing all these singular offshoot episodes, but it's because they're trying to make it more like lore based and less Skywalker based. So they're shooting off by showing you a little bit of this and a little bit of that, so that it's easier to break away from this mold of Tatooine. Da 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 da.
Yeah. It's I think they're gonna create its own separate like unit, and then they're gonna have characters that are gonna be bridging them, so it can be transferable. You can bring Mandalorian from one section, from one unit to another unit through, for example, Cal Kestis. And you can sort of like interchange where these characters are being used now, if they do it. If my theory is correct.
When does the next game come out? Next month?
At end of April, yeah.
So that's when season 3 ends. I wonder if they're gonna.
And the strange thing too, Panda, is they pushed the game back. It was supposed to come out in March 18th.
Right.
Which I get, they wanted to polish that game. That's a normal thing. I was like, okay, that's fucking fine. But now that you bring that up, is like, okay, maybe it would have been it would have been more interesting if they waited till May the 4th. Mm-hmm. But I guess for Star Wars ending,
because they already got the actor there. They already got the actor there, right? They can just tap homie to come on. He's already a Disney approved actor.
Yeah.
And it's an easy, you dip in, dip out. But mainly it's the Luke shit. As they start expanding and they do Ahsoka and shit, and there's more Jedi and the Grey Jedi and this, like, I have a sneaking suspicion that Cal also won't be like a Luke Jedi Knight himself as the story progresses,
What do you mean?
Because that's what they're doing with the Mandalorian. Like, Grogu's going to be a Mandalorian that uses a lightsaber and the Force, but he's not a Jedi. They're trying to build out the universe to be more expansive using Ahsoka and what Dave Filoni has laid out, so that it's like a more gray area of like not necessarily Jedi and Sith, but there's like Force users of different varieties and da-da-da. There's still Luke with his academy trying to raise creepy space wizards, but then there's also fucking Mando's cult, and then there's Boba on this planet, you know what I mean?
I don't hate that idea. I do like the thought of after Order 66 and the whole original trilogy having Jedi just be their own thing. I know Luke originally was like, I'm going to, get all the artifacts together and start training Jedi again, but even if we ignore the sequels, that's what I like to do. The Jedi were not perfect. And
yeah, and that's Dave Filoni was trying to, that was the whole point of the Clone Wars cartoon. That was like the point of the cartoon, and then bringing Ahsoka and that Ezra and all those values into it. I think it very much brings that all together, and they have to make the lore makes sense to the sequel trilogy. So by like tying this button of like, oh, here we can build this whole new storyline about gray areas, and then we don't have to retcon the sequel trilogy, but that was just about the Last of the Jedi. But there was all this other shit going on in the meantime, but it just didn't happen on camera.
Does Mandalorian happen before Rogue One or after Rogue One?
After Mandalorian is after Darth Vader dies,
trilogy.
like after the original trilogy and before the sequel trilogy.
Okay, so that's why. Okay, I don't. Okay, if Darth Vader's not alive.
No, the Empire just died. That's the whole point.
Okay, so
like it's a political
okay,
commentary as the story, but
if Cal Kestis shows up in this show, he will be older, significantly older.
That's what I was going to say. This
Cal
is basically 15
yeah.
years after, I think, give or take.
Yes, yeah. Cal Kestis' storyline is at the fall. Like he's in his late 20s when he's in a return or fallen in order. So he's already a grown man. So I think when this happens, he'll be in his 40s or 50s or some shit like he'll be older. So so they'll have to do a weird time jump then. They'll have to the games will have to do a time jump.
We also don't know what happens in this new game, right? So
yeah, I mean,
and then the whole fucky, the big carrot they have is as soon as they bring Ezra and Ahsoka into it, they got time travel and they've got retcon at their fingertips. Yeah. They already wrote it in, you know?
Yeah. Because, okay, so I'm just trying to think, because, like, if Cal Kestis shows up, he would have already been a Jedi Knight, or a Jedi. Not Knight, but, like, he would already been, like, a powerful Jedi. Because, like, even in the events of Fallen Order and Survivor, he's getting his shit together.
Yeah.
So it's like, I don't know.
Who knows what they become?
Yeah. But Survivor, it'll be interesting because I wonder if they're gonna if Survivor will tie into, because maybe the third game will be a time jump and then it'll match up with the Mandalorian time, because there's an event that happens in Fallen Order that makes it right now impossible for Cal Kestis to show up as he is in the game and in the movie or in the show, because the timeline wouldn't add up, because there's a certain event in the game that kind of confirms.
This new game is like going to be a prequel?
No, it's going to be a sequel, but like
I don't completely understand without you spoiling.
Yeah, I'm not going to spoil much, but like there's an event that happens in Fallen Order that would make it so Cal Kestis would be older if he would show up in the show, right? Because there's a that's it. But there's a thing.
I mean, timeline wise, it makes sense. He'd be older too.
Yeah, yeah, because this happens before A New Hope.
Yeah. Yeah, and then A New Hope and those three are like really small time period apart. That's the weird thing about those movies. Like it's like a few years. It's like only 2-3 years that the original trilogy happens. So that's not like a big.
But I was telling Bailey like a few years ago, the Cal Kestis would have been the catalyst for the Jedi. Like the rebirth of the Jedi, not Luke, because Cal Kestis in the game, his whole journey is to find the thing.
So then again, that's how you got Johnny Boy and Filoni possibly creating a little like okay, we're gonna make the sequel trilogy make sense, but it was the Skywalker saga, and no one knew all this other shit was going on. That there's a whole academy full of Jedi or da 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 da.
Yeah.
Because they were busy dealing with the First Order and shit.
Yeah. And Cal Kestis, I still stand by the theory that he could be related to Obi-Wan. I still stand by
his brother.
They have Bo-Katan in it. It's a lot easier to pull the mom in when they have Bo-Katan in the Mando. It only makes that more plausible. Because Bo-Katan was homies with she was sisters with the fucking Obi-Wan's potential baby mama.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say,
the potential baby mama of Obi-Wan was the Queen of Mandalore, who was the sister of Bo-Katan, and Bo-Katan is now in the Mandalorian.
So Bo would be his sister, possibly.
Bo would be his stepsister. Yeah, his stepsister. Oh, Cal Kestis' aunt. Cal Kestis' aunt.
Yeah. Can we just write this to like Dave Filoni? Be like, hey, we have a pitch. We have a theory here. Okay?
This is all him and Jon Favreau do.
Favreau, yeah.
Because that's Filoni wrote that. That was in the Clone Wars where they were hinting at that, right? That they had a secret romance.
Yeah.
That's why Obi-Wan had empathy for Anakin, and that's why he painted that story better, because Obi-Wan also had feelings for someone.
Remember the Obi-Wan show? Oh my god.
Hayden is supposed to come back rumored for Ahsoka.
I thought that was confirmed.
I mean, he said, I can't.
Oh, I swear to God, I read a headline that said he is coming back.
But you can't trust headlines.
Everybody's coming back, bro. Somehow Palpatine came back. That's fucking great.
At least Mark Hamill and all these people like made significant careers. Hayden Christensen is just stoked to be able to come back to the only thing that he's ever done.
I mean, Jumper. Hello.
The exact Jumper.
I would love to see another Jumper. Just saying.
Yeah, okay, it was a good concept. I would agree, but I think it also dates us knowing that movie. You know.
He lives in Uxbridge, eh?
I'm not surprised.
My cousin's friend was roommates with him, like way before, the first episode, or the second episode. Before he was a struggling artist when they were roommates, and he was like very interesting.
Yeah, he's a dad now, so I don't know if he still keeps it up, but I know he likes to dabble in that stuff that's legal here in Canada. You know, the stuff that Bailey's on.
Yeah. Horse tranquilizers. That's it, Raza. Okay, so are we gonna start recording now?
I was waiting on you guys, but.
Oh, okay. Yeah, whatever. You better have your synopsis ready, okay?
I forgot the movie already.
Welcome to Movie Madness. This week, we're reviewing The Sound of Metal, a 2019 film directed by Darius Martyr. This show, we take a breather in the madness and focus in on one film at a time. It helps us narrow in on things and explore more of the creative aspects of media. Our movie today, we already nailed that down. I'm picking the next one, actually. I gotta fix these points before I do my story read. I'll do the Chronicles of Riddick. I'll do the next take. So, next up, though, what we do, our little format, Raza's going to give you a spoiler-free synopsis of The Sound of Metal to start, and if you get hooked, sounds interesting, you can stop the show, go back, watch that film, come back, give us your comments, all that. If it's your first time here, this is a Marching into Madness production. Just like all of our other shows, this is recorded live as well. So if you're interested in what you're hearing or watching later on YouTube, you can catch us live on Twitch or YouTube as well. So, Razzie Dazzy, give us your spoiler-free synopsis of why you think Riz Ahmed has sexy hair.
'Cause it's brown hair. I don't know. It's fucking good hair. Fuck off. Okay. So the sound of metal, which I keep on thinking it's the sound of music for some reason. It's different.
Yeah, there's no "the" in front of it. Just
yeah, no. Sound of Metal is about a drummer who develops a should I say the disability, or should I just leave it as spoiler? Leave it. Because
No,
I was
it's
kind of confused about, like, if I say what happens outright, then that kind of like spoils a huge chunk of
I
the
think you
movie.
can say experiences hearing loss.
Yeah, so it's about a metal drummer that experiences hearing loss, and it's a struggle of what he has to do to to accommodate this disability, how it affects people around him, and how it affects him, and it's also about how people sort of take things for granted. In this case, hearing. The movie stars, as Bailey said, Raza Ahmed from the hit movies Venom and The Bourne Identity,
In
which
Rogue
he was
One.
in. I saw that. I saw that last. I forgot he was in that. And it's a movie about how we have to overcome certain situations and what happens if we do not do that properly.
Interesting.
Yeah, I wrote it down, but then I realized I shouldn't say it. Well, what a spoiler! Because I said, "Oh, he has
Yeah.
he's Helen Keller, but with vision."
I would say the only beat you missed is, like, I would say there's a love story in there somewhere. We didn't touch on the love story
I
aspect.
don't know. I don't know if it was a love story, but
I mean, the core of it, it's really
him.
about him, right?
Yeah,
So,
it's about him.
but throwing that in,
And
like,
his
well, obviously-
relationship with relationships. Okay, yeah. All right.
I mean, that's
So
the end goal of the movie.
yeah. So how should we start this? Should I go, or should someone else?
Okay,
go?
so since we're doing an ad hoc one, you're gonna give me 2 claps, and that's gonna be my ad break. I'll put the ad in post. We're gonna do a little break.
Gotta spread some cheeks.
Yeah. Little break. Give me a little clap. Okay, all right. Now we're back to it. So you can go ahead. We'll get you started, and I'll cut it in post. And now so you're gonna pop in and say, okay, now we're in the spoiler section. I'm going first. Here's my thoughts. All right, Raza.
Now we're in the spoiler section. Here we go. Here's my thoughts. Word for word.
Yeah, whatever.
So I did enjoy this movie quite a bit. Now I can see why it was like a Oscar drip, not drip, sorry, Oscar bait move.
And a winner
It won. I don't know. I thought
for
it just won.
editing and sound
okay.
design, I believe.
Sound design, I can see it winning because it had a very, very good sound design, especially for like the deafness part and whatnot, and the muffledness. I was reading, this movie does a good job at emulating the having no hearing, and it's what happens. This is what happens when a director or a movie maker respects and understands the community that they are depicting, and that's what I kind of agreed. Like there were many people like within the deaf community saying, okay, that's showing when he first loses his hearing and he goes to the house, and there's no subtitles playing.
Mm-hmm.
When that's happening, that what I felt was just like, it's how a deaf person or a person who develops hearing loss, that's how they feel initially. That loss, they're completely lost. They don't understand what's going on there. When I was watching that scene, I was completely confused about the sign language that they were using. So I did see how it depicted going into the dark sort of very well. And then Riz Ahmed's acting is probably like amazing. Like I felt like this man was pouring everything into that. Can you move back? was
It was all in the
pouring-
eyes, bro. It's all in his eyes.
was pouring everything into that role. When Lou leaves to say, she's like, go get help from them and then come back to me. That entire scene of him begging her to stay, that was I was like, give this man more roles. Like, why isn't he not in any like good, like, he was everything I've seen him in is amazing, with the exception of Venom.
Yeah.
It was very weirdly cast in that one. It was a time, I was telling you, Pat, it was a time where everybody was being thrown in the superhero movie. But everything I've seen him in outside of that, Nightcrawler, Bourne Identity, this one, it's all those. He does a very good job of playing these disturbed characters.
Yeah.
He voice acts in an Assassin's Creed podcast series, Raza.
I know that too. But I didn't want to bring that up. I was like, you guys were like, Assassin's Creed, Rosa's jerking him off. I was like, but yeah. So it just, he's a rapper too. Like, you should like listen to his music. It's fucking pretty good. Like, it's for what it is. But he's like a very well-spoken, soft-spoken individual. He's super underrated. He's very underrated. He's not utilized as much in Hollywood, and it's a shame. But this role, he did a very good job in this. His character development in this, from getting the implant to everything, just that after leaving the house and whatnot, I felt like there was growth there, and he carried the movie. He did a good job, and everybody else, did good as well, but he was the highlight of the entire movie, of course, because he's a title character.
But he also carried his weight, I'd say.
Yeah, he carried his weight. He did everything well. He was believable, and he portrayed hearing loss very well. When he gets hit with it, that's when, like, oh damn, motherfucker's acting over here. Let's go. So it's like, I feel like homie puts a lot of heart and soul into his roles, and it shows, especially in this.
Absolutely.
All right, bye guys. That's my pick.
That was before going off on my opinions. The one that the note off of you saying that is like, I've always heard a lot of buzz about Riz Ahmed, so I thought he was popping, and I'm looking at his stuff now, and yeah, he doesn't really have many movies and whatnot under his belt.
Of course, he was in Rogue One. That's the other one.
Yeah,
I just forgot.
He's English, right? I think he was in a lot of English shows originally, and like he has Hamlet coming out, a new movie, given we've had how many Hamlets in the past, but he's playing Hamlet, which is pretty fantastic, and I know he's going to kill it.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Oh yeah, Panda, you're right. Yeah, lots of British TV series.
Yeah, and that's, again, America loves a good English actor that can pull off an American accent. So.
Yeah, the only other fun fact I have from the search is he got executive producer on the film as well.
Of the movie?
The Sound of Metal. Riz Ahmed was an EP as well.
Nice.
Look at this man moving on up. Panda, me or you? What's your vibes?
You can go ahead.
Okay, let me pull up my notes.
He was in have heard of? I've seen this movie before. Othering with You. It's like a animated romantic movie.
I have it, but I haven't watched it yet.
Oh,
he voices it.
Yeah. Yeah, this is one of the G Kids movies, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, because Studio Ghibli is like the #1 anime film company in Japan, and G Kids is the new contender that put out what was it called? Your Name, which was fantastic. And then this came out the year after or 2 years after, and a lot of people were like, it's basically the same movie, even though I don't trust what they say. But again, these companies like to get big stars when voicing their English version. And
Yeah. No, I see that. I see that a lot. Like going into my thoughts, that was like one of my first things watching the movie was like listening to his voice. I was like, God damn, this man just needs to do voice acting. Fuck it. His voice, he should voice every video game character ever now, please, Riz Ahmed. He's got that like perfect, like, yeah, bro. What do you mean, man? Yeah, like he could be a lead character in any video game, easy peasy. But so the first and most meta note, I found myself very much pondering at times if like the name of the film was a double entendre because of like his cochlear implants and how he progressed through literally hearing. So the sound of metal being his journey through music and da-da-da, but also literally the sound of metal. Like by the end of it, he did all that to get the implants, and all he has is the sound of metal. Right? So either way, he ended up with the same thing he had, which was nothing. And that was the sound of metal. And I don't know if I was thinking like way too meta about that, but it just all like rang true in my head a little bit as I was thinking about it. The other note is I've met a lot of friends who are like drummers or play in like punk bands or metal bands, and it was very, very relatable, the stories they told me about experiencing hearing loss and their bandmates who experienced hearing loss, and watching it filmed in those first like 15-20 minutes where they showed the band portions of it. And you know, they described it as happening that way, not just that they were cutting the audio to make it dramatic. Like as he was playing the kits, how it would just slowly sound out. And he doesn't notice because he's so fucking used to just hammering on them that he doesn't notice that the sound's going away. And that's how it was like always described to me by my friends. So it was really creepy to watch that, to like have that vivid description of like, yeah, you're just so used to it's the same rhythms, it's the same tempo, and you're so used to so much loud noise that it already becomes a blur that you don't notice that the blur's quiet. And it was like, oh, that's so creepy to see someone actually like capture that on film. But that's geeking out. What?
Did you get traumatized by this movie or something?
No, I just thought it was really impactful because that's like something that I've seen people describe very vividly to me, and it was really engaging to see it illustrated on screen like that. Same note, ASL stuff. It was all the subtleties. I've also like interacted with people involved in the ASL community and taken a bunch of ASL lessons myself, and the idiosyncrasies of like how they talked at the dinner table, banging the table, and how they talk and all that. I thought it was really inspiring to show that community because it's another one of those. They have deaf characters in Marvel shows now and shit, but they just show it's like a novelty.
It's like they're deaf.
Here's your token.
The deaf guy now. You're in this. Deaf people can be superheroes, guys. Let's not take that away.
That's the subtleties, like homie told him to get up in the morning and go right in the room and have the coffee and the donut and go right in the room. And you notice because they say it's 5 a.m. and even though it's 5 a.m., he's slamming the doors, he's stomping around the house. Because that's like, it's a known thing because he's not conscious of how much noise he's making. But it's very well, like a subtle detail. I was like, yeah, this is fire. Ending, a lot. I loved the ending. It was a very Bailey ending. I could see a lot of people being pissed at the ending because it was very like, meh. I could like if Wine Mom was here, like this is why I'm disappointed Wine Mom isn't here. We would have had a good fucking argument over the ending.
Because it's this type of movie that these type of movies aren't told in a very specific way. It's like an indie film, like in a sense where the ending isn't going to be like end, right? It's just going to happen because it had. I was even watching this movie and I was thinking, how is this movie going to end? Like, how is it? What's going to be the last scene? Because there aren't really any sort of like typical story beats or story hits in it. It's more of his journey. So I feel like that abrupt cut where it goes to black and it goes to the credits. I thought that was probably the best way to do it. Otherwise, it would have lingered on and done some very dumb thing to actually have an ending, rather than just let's just end it here, sitting at the bench. And then like I think at that moment he was finally accepting it because he took it off and whatnot. He accepted it. So I think that's subtext was supposed to be the heavier part of, supposed to add the weight to it. But again, not a lot of people would have picked up that. They'd been like, "Oh, that's a dumb ending. I need some closure." And I know, but yeah, I just thought that's a good way to end it.
I have more to touch on there, but before I get to that, and before we let Bailey finish, it was made for under $6 million, which isn't much. You know, we hear $6 million, of course. You know, that could buy you everything you need to survive for a couple of years. But $5 million, you know, it was $5,600,000, I believe, and that's not much. And I mentioned to one of my friends that I was watching this, and he looked up the price of the movie and was like, "Oh, what are they spending that amount on such a basic story?" And I'm like, I mean, first off, you have to pay everyone involved, right? Advertising, etc., etc. But what I love about this movie is that it's shot so well, and there's so much detail embedded in everything. Every single house, every single room, their RV, the classroom. If you look around, it feels lived in. And that's something I'm going to expand on.
Oh yeah, I could go off if we ever want to educate the listeners sometime and do a stream. That's like I could ramble about how it was shot and how many sets. That's how it was like kind of affordable. But yeah, you talk about value price just to shoot with the levels of cameras that's shot with. That's $1.5 million right there just for the cameras.
Oh, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Let alone if they're film reels, then you got to pay another $500,000 for the film reels. But I ramble. That I do agree. I forgot to put that note, so thank you. I'll take that little segue to finish off my stuff. Is the color palette of it also very Bailey color palette. I use like a Fujifilm. I like a vivid but pale color set, so it's like feels very lived in and like it's real sunlight, not like fluorescent lights, and I thought it captured those tones very well. If you notice, there's a lot of blues in the film carrying it throughout, a lot of blues and greens, and I'm a sucker for that. I'm a sucker for a little bit too much blue tinge, as you can see. Raza last brought up Riz Ahmed. Yeah, I get why he's praised so much. The one thing I noticed, it's all in his eyes, and I wonder why lately, like Hollywood, like the big most emoting actors, I wonder if it's a victim of the internet era or just better film technology, but it's like Rami Malek. It's like having the big bug eyes is like makes you seem more emotive now, and I wonder why that is.
I think it's because you can see more the emotions well in their faces rather than like Matt Damon, who's like,
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon. This is all I can do. This is I have one look. Or Brad Pitt. I have one look. Right? So I think it's like these bug-eyed actors are able to do more with their facial expressions, right?
Anya Taylor-Joy came to mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. These are pretty humans too, but they got big fucking eyeballs. They got big eyeballs, and that's why it makes it works. It works. That ending scene.
This looks way more, but like I'm scared or I'm fucked up looks more appealing as opposed to like.
Because he's sitting on that bench at the end, and he's not doing anything. He's just sitting straight and like looking around, but his eyes are so fucking. Clear in his head, like I'm not even dissing. They're just like prominent that you're drawn to it.
One thing I like about Riz Ahmed's acting is that like he puts, as I mentioned, he puts a lot of effort into the role, no matter how dumb it is. You know, no matter if it's Venom, he's still putting 110% into it.
Or being the only brown guy in a Star Wars movie, and then he blows himself up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Thanks,
That's very
Disney.
true. Technically, what's his face is also brown too, like the main guy,
Pedro Pascal.
Andor. Yeah,
Oh, right.
Andor. Yeah,
Yeah,
he's
yeah, yeah.
technically. Yeah. But yeah, I see the same thing. It's very stereotypical, and he's a pilot too. Disney, Disney, we see
Yeah.
you.
Oscar
We
Isaac
see you.
too.
Yeah.
And
That's
Pedro
funny.
Pascal. Jesus, like
Yeah, they're all like, Disney's like, yeah, we're gonna have these diverse characters, but can't break out of the stereotype. Boy, get back in, sir. There's another tower. Well, let's get another brown actor in here. So he does a good job at everything he does, even in this role, and like him adapting to the deafness, playing doing the alphabet game, like doing the race. I thought that was like I felt like he's gonna have a good turn here. He's gonna be accepted in that community. He's gonna be like,
did.
you know what? I don't want to go back to Lou. I want to stay here. I feel safe here. I feel like more welcome in here. But yeah, ultimately, like the reality, he's just like, no, I gotta go back to my normal life and everything, which is very true. Which is like, it made him. It didn't fix a lot of his issues. The movie didn't fix a lot of his issues going from start to beginning. He's just consistent the way through, and he was still kind of selfish in his own regard. The means was different, but his mode, like his temperament, was the same throughout. So I think this was a very good way of showing that like he didn't really learn much, he just went back into his old ways, which is kind of interesting character arc.
Okay, so actually, so I saw this movie back when it came out, right? And I had one major problem with the movie, and I'm going to start with that because I still have an issue with it. But now that I've seen the movie a second time, I'm realizing that the movie is actually about an addict. Even if it's been 4 years since he's touched, right? That's what the whole sit in this room and just write. Don't do anything else, just write. It shows that he has issues with, following orders, just chilling out and not being addicted to something in his life. Whether it's his girlfriend, whether it's making music, whether it's, getting up early to make breakfast and have structure in his life. He has problems with a structure not being implemented in his life, right? And that's shown too when he's fixing the roof. So the issue that I had when I originally watched this movie is how he gets the surgery and then he goes back and they're like, you gotta leave because you go against what we stand for here, which again, I'm kind of split at this point, but when I first watched it, I was pissed off. I was like, how the fuck are they going to cast him out? And I looked it up, and there is a word for it. I think it's called anti-ableism, which is like, if you can fix the issue you're having, then you're going to get hated on by the community. Given the community that accepted him was for addicts and people that have come to terms with being deaf. Given when he showed up, it kind of felt against his will from his girlfriend, who was forcing him into it, who had, good intentions with him being an addict, right? Seeing signs that he was falling back into a state of stress. So I felt pissed off, but the second watch, the man that brought him in, I'm blanking on his name at the moment.
I don't remember.
The character's name,
Paul Racy as Joe.
Joe,
right.
Sorry, yeah, my bad.
So that actor is fantastic, and that scene where he has to turn him away, you can see how broken up he is because he loved Riz's character. I'm also blanking on his name.
Ruben,
right. I don't know. Yeah, he came to grow and very appreciate Ruben, and even offered him basically his own job. You know.
Yeah,
and
bro.
So,
That was my cry scene. That was like watching him telling me had to leave. I was like, oh, my heart.
Right, but like that's where I'm indifferent about it, because it's like, first off, how do you tell other addicts that can't afford that sort of surgery or have no possibility of hearing, right? That, hey, this guy that you eat breakfast, lunch, dinner with, that you joke around with, he went behind our backs and got this surgery. And then also a school of kids that were literally fucking born into deafness. Maybe not all of them, but I assume most of them were. And so there's a moral problem with him rather than the system.
How did that guy turn? So you're saying that guy turned on the kids as well? Or are you talking about Ruben? Okay. I'm just clarifying.
When I watched it the first time, I did feel like Ruben was betrayed almost every turn in this movie. But that's his outlook, and that's what I was seeing through. And so this second watch really opened my eyes.
Well, I it's super quick. I can keep it short. As I think what you pointed out with the anti-ableism was like a big message of the film. I think that's a lot of contrast. That's what they're trying to show to the film schooly people, because that message of like accepting being an addict is something that you have to live with is the same sense of like how we treat disabilities, right? And that's how he was entering this problem that he had as something that he could solve rather than something that he's now having to live with.
But he could literally solve it. Even if it wasn't getting his perfect hearing back, he was able, given it's also through the structure of his habits, which is the addiction part. So when he set his goal on selling everything he owned, right, he did it, and he raised the money. But I'm still split on like the message of the movie, not so much the characters in it, including Joe, because I really like Joe, right? So it's more like, you're going deaf, you should accept it, rather than like,
I mean, because like the line he used is that this house is like this, the house is built on trust, right? And if you like, you're building relationships on that, so like he said, how can you have that trust if you know this thing that you have is gonna end? You're basing everything off a lie. So to me, when I watched that scene, I felt that this was a lesson that he needed to learn, and it was a lesson he needed to learn the hard way.
Oh, yeah.
Joe gave him, like, said, do anything on your own for free will. Joe actually didn't have any chains on him, but like, you have to do this. He just went off on his own merit and got the implants done. So with the same merits, he should be able to face the consequences. So, I was sort of brokenhearted about the thing, because as you said, Panda, Joe was willing to give him a new life, give him new everything, set him up for good in a community that already accepts him. He was making friends with. He could have been teaching drumming as a kid. I thought the drumming parts were kind of cool. I was like, this is gonna lead somewhere good. And then no, he doesn't. He says, fuck that. I'm gonna go out and get some puss in New York. So he sort of like gives up on his own sort of mission that he sets up for himself, because he does grow into it. He does say, fine, I am going to get better. But then once Joe tells him, hey kid, do you want to work here? I think at that point he's like, I have to do something about this. I gotta get out now.
Yeah,
that's a very, very addict thing to do, I think.
Right, and because it's such a mundane, I want to say in quotation marks, type of life that he was living, and I feel like that's how he saw it, where he didn't want to get stuck in like, I'm going to be teaching deaf kids and I'm going to be living with these people and not having, personal connections. But that's the other thing where I'm split, is like his life was music. Yeah. And you can't really call a passion an addiction. I mean, you could, but...
You can if it gets too much, right?
Right, which goes into other aspects, which we will touch on. But again, it's like losing your hearing as a musician must be like the hardest fucking thing ever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. And like trying to adapt to a new life when music is like such a fundamental part of yours is, I get it. Like I get why he needed to go back into like that fold, because he's comfortable with that and he doesn't want to do something that he has to change everything, when he didn't really, that they were still saying you can teach deaf kids how to play drums. It's not that hard from what I gather. It's like hit the shit. No, I'm kidding.
I mean, you don't even have to sound good, right?
You don't have to sound good. Just no, but it's just like I think that he was just so determined halfway through of saying, I'm gonna just leave and do my own thing. That's why I'm selling everything now and whatnot.
You thought it was... Sorry, go ahead.
No, because you haven't spoken in a while. So if you
I just like didn't really feel it was determined. Like I felt it was very much like playing up the addict part that you're talking about. Like I felt it was like very much a bad thing. Like it was showing his addict tendencies to sell everything he has because he's desperate to get her attention.
That's essentially what we're...
Okay.
No, but also on the arguing end, which again, I'm seeing this laid out, right? So I'm trying to separate myself. Love is also another aspect of like, you could call it an addiction and all that, right? By the end of the movie, he realizes, and this is what I want to touch on, is really it's about self-reflection. This entire movie, right? About his addictions and his priorities, and seeing the effect that he had on his girlfriend by the end of the movie, when we find out, he points out that there's no scratching. And as soon as he starts talking about getting the band back together, you see her start to itch. And that's a tendency that people with mental illness do, whether she was depressed or wanted to feel pain, cutting themselves and such.
Or anxiety too.
Right. And that also leads into her addiction issues, which maybe she wasn't a drug addict, but when she was with him doing this band stuff, she was not in a good place, even if it seemed like good times.
Yeah.
As someone who just like went through a tumultuous breakup in that way, that wasn't necessarily a hate each other one, but toxic for the two humans in the end. It was very home hitting in that way. Yeah, that was also very home hitting, because I was also kicking the smack dog.
I was talking about hearing, but that's on you. That's on you.
Either way, both insensitive jokes.
Look who's insensitive now. Look who's off on all cylinders tonight.
No offense, but there's not going to be any deaf people listening to this podcast.
Subtitle it.
Gotcha. Oh, right.
Wait, it is subtitled already, actually. So it is hearing. We are hearing impaired accessible.
Yeah, we're inclusive.
So someone could be hearing your bad jokes in closed captions right now.
We're just kidding.
No, love all walks of life. If you can hear, see, walk, and not walk, you're included.
It's kind of funny. I forgot I do all that extra shit.
Do you know what's funny? My friend has a handicap sign, and then to park in like the handicap section. Mm-hmm. I don't think he's handicapped himself.
Probably got it from a family member or something.
I assume so. I was like, how are you getting away with this? I don't know.
On that same note of like homies. Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead. You gotta get the
No,
one
no,
liner. Okay.
no.
I was gonna
It's not
say on
worth
the same line as like Riz's journey and then Joe and their relationship. I thought it was also really cute and a nice little bow on it all for the ending because Joe was like pressing him about like, yo, did you have your moment of stillness yet? Like you were pointing it out, Panda. Like he needed to stop. So then that's why I thought
Yeah.
it was really beautiful how it stopped at the ending, and that was it. At the ending, he was finally fucking still, and then it ends. It's like, oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
Would.
what would?
Sorry.
It's okay. The one thing I noticed the second time around too is that Lou's father is kind of a villain.
It's an asshole.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because he brings up like, "Hey Ruben, I didn't really like you because my daughter ran away from home, and maybe you weren't the reason." But she also stuck with you, so you were part of the reason. So I really fucking hated your guts, and I don't know. Everything he says comes off as like privileged and like
Well,
Yeah.
Panda.
I mean,
Right.
yeah, he's French and white and rich and what's that fancy word for fancy? Intellectual. Yeah,
Bayley Nargang. With the
Pretentious.
yeah,
Pretentious.
pretentious. Exactly. Yes.
Or French. He's French. He's French.
But yeah, that was really the only time when it felt like someone really had words that were backtracking on the progress that he had accomplished, and on Ruben, because it was criticism, and also it helped drive the nail of Lou moving on in life. And it was all shit that Ruben had to learn and to experience and see for himself. So I don't even blame him for going after her, but he had to learn the hard way that she had moved on, that her father was happy about it, that he saw him as a negative influence originally, and maybe a little bit of bullying, like, oh, you're not such a threat anymore because my daughter's home and she's making music and she's making money and she's happy.
Yeah, so it's like he was kind of kicking him down. He was just like, he was it's just he was looking at Ruben from outside, from another bubble, and it's from like a different viewpoint, different everything that he doesn't really care or understand, right?
Right.
He just was I don't think he cares about his own daughter. Essentially, that's what I gathered. He was just like, oh, she's back, she's good. But yeah, everybody seems to be questionable in this movie with their sort of like motives.
Right.
It's a Bailey movie.
except for Joe and everyone at the deaf community, right?
Everybody in the deaf community, yeah. Everybody. Even the people who buy his RV. I found them compelling, intriguing, three-dimensional characters for the.
I mean, they were
You did?
buying his shit.
Yeah. Remember, he's like, "I'm deaf, man. I can't hear you. Are you gonna do this now or what?" I was laughing at this. Like, when he first gets deaf, and he goes to the doctor, and the doctor is just like on the phone, like he's deaf right now, and then he proceeds to talk to him. The doctor can see you now. He's like, "I can't fucking hear you,
Yeah.
man." Like there are certain. I was like, this is kind of funny because he's saying he's deaf, but then he's talking to him at the same time, and then he goes to the doctor, and then he does a test. I thought that was sort of like heartbreaking too, and then the other thing I wanted to talk on is the sound design. As you brought it up, it won awards when he gets the implant. That felt like a pretty good representation of what it feels like to have and implant it in your head when things don't sound right. So it's it kind of this movie kind of gives us uh, a window of looking into into this how it feels basically,
Right.
even with the subtitles and the how it's shot, how the sound is recorded, how the muffling is. I thought that was very interesting because it shows us, well, me, I don't know what you guys, but me, it showed me how how it could feel to be deaf, and I was like, damn, I
Right.
don't want that.
And it's realistic in the sense that a surgery doesn't always go 100%. So you don't like
Yeah.
again, you think, "Oh, if I lose my hearing, I'll just get surgery and then I can hear again." That's not how it works. And it's
Yeah.
not guaranteed that it's going to be perfect.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, it's a very hard watch ultimately. It's a very and it's yeah, it's Wine Mom, I don't think she would be able to.
She would hate the ending. She would break
Yeah.
at the ending. She'd be
Yeah.
so unhappy that there's no answer at the end.
It
On
there is
on
an
the
answer,
same.
but, like, you have to sort of like think about it a little bit. Be like,
So I actually mentioned to someone else that I was going to rewatch this movie for the podcast, and she went and watched it as well, and she was like, "Yeah, I absolutely hate the ending. You get no you get nothing out of it. You know, he's left
yeah,
high and dry, and I didn't like that he took out. But what I realized, you know, even the first time I watched this, it's self acceptance. You know,
yeah,
like he's realizing he's fucked up, left and right, and the world's too loud for him now, and hearing it the way he was, and he doesn't
yeah.
get to be with the person that he wants to be with.
Yeah, I just thought it was what. Yeah, and tagging on to what you're saying. I thought the ending was a lot. Additionally, what Bailey was said, it was that moment of stillness.
Mhm.
That's when he finally had that. That's when he finally, you know, said, "This is it. This is it's good." With his bug eyes and whatnot, bulging out his skull. He's like, "This is it. This is how it's going to be." I thought that was sort of like the ending where he finally accepts who he is. But additionally, yeah, Panda, he doesn't have the girl anymore. He has to somehow restart his life now, uh, with this a disability. So I like I get where your friend is coming from, but at the same time, it's just it's one of those movies where, as I said before, it's how you perceive it. That's the actual.
But some people also want closure, right? As where
Yeah,
I feel like all three of
fucking
us
Marvel.
are
And I'm
okay
kidding.
with, but I imagine all three of us are okay with a movie ending like The Sopranos did, you know?
No, and I think that's a
No,
very true.
no, no.
So you like
I need to
closure.
know what the fuck happens, man. It can't just end like no, I'm kidding. Um, yeah, like I do like when movies and TV shows sort of say, "Oh, the ending is." It's kind of lazy storytelling, in my opinion, but it's also like leave it up to the audience to how it ends.
Yeah,
We can end it ourselves. So
but
I like that.
still, but like that's
I
why,
feel touch.
but it's so powerful, you know, the ambiguity of like not knowing. Like you can create a happy ending, right? Like what if he decides, you know what, I'm never going to put these back in my head and I'm going to go back to Joe and I will tell him, I will explain to everyone that I made a mistake, you
Yeah,
know, because I like it here. I like being part of your lives and I'm ready to fully accept that I have an
yeah.
addictive personality and that I can sit still and accept the silence.
hmm
You
Hopefully,
know,
Joe believes in second chances like his boss Jesus does, because that would be a little bit of a fucking slap in the face if he's like, no,
I would say,
you're
sorry,
you're done.
I would say
It
they
would be
directly
like,
hinted at that he was like, as of right now, in the state that you're in, right now, he kept
yeah.
using the eluder. Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
believe that Joe would have taken him back.
Yeah, Joe. Every time I see Joe, no matter if he's sad or happy, it looked like he was on the verge of tears. Every time you would see him, he would always be like about to cry over something. To the point where I even was had to pause the movie and go back a few scenes to be like, did something happen that I missed that he feels this way? Because he doesn't look happy at all throughout the movie. So, but yeah, the scene where he sits on, yeah, Joe killed it. Everybody killed it. It's a very cathartic movie to me.
He did look very happy at the dinner table when they're all joking around. I'll point that out. But
Oh yeah, I forgot about that scene.
but the final scene where he's actually crying was like,
Yeah, his heart was broken at that point. I felt like this is like, yeah, like it's a breach of trust. It's like a deep sort of like he basically gave you this thing, and he said, "Do you want to do this now longer?
right.
There's a place for you here, friend. People like you. People actually fuck with you here. You know, you don't have to go back to noise metal that you were making and shit. So, which is not music.
Actually,
This
that's
is
what
me talking now.
I wanted to bring that up because you guys didn't mention the slide. That I feel like that's the first time Ruben actually feels like where he really starts to be like, I can relate, you know, even if it's to this kid who's just laying there and just tapping
Oh, that
his foot.
scene.
Yeah, it was his
yeah.
turning
He's
point, quote unquote.
hitting
It was his
yeah.
turning point for the film for
I
sure.
thought it was gonna get like to be cheesy after that point. I was like, okay, now we're gonna have a montage about him coming to terms with himself. But no, 2 scenes later, he gets hearing implants. So I was like, okay, never mind then.
Right. I know you guys talked about Riz's acting.
Riz, his Riz.
Is
Riz
Big
is-
Riz?
Yeah.
Alright, sorry, continue.
No, but he fucking killed it. Yeah, there's a lot of
Man, we fucking got it. We got it, bro. Pakistani man's got it, bro. We fucking are now in the arena to be taken seriously now. No more token brown guy to be the random Bollywood actor, even though he's Pakistani. Now he's front and center. Can do real human roles like losing his hearing.
right.
Considering your recent taste in humor, Raza, how did you like his primary tattoo, his big chest tattoo? How did you like his chest piece?
I didn't really pay attention to that.
It
I
just
was
says,
like,
"Please kill me," scribbled
yeah,
across his chest.
That's how
I-
recent humor. That's been like that since you've known me.
I just thought maybe you would get a tattoo like that. Just please kill me on your chest.
No, because anything like no, I would like to be taken seriously.
But
Or
that
a
means
Star
you're
Wars tattoo.
serious. Yeah, or Assassin's Creed, very serious, very serious.
No, Assassin's Creed means like I am
Part of
I
a
am-
brother,hood, and he's taken an
I-
oath, and he cannot
I'm
betray it.
also like taken seriously. Anybody with like a cross on their body is my enemy, according to the lore of Assassin's Creed. So, these tattoos I picked are special. They have moments.
Wait, you
when
have
they're
tattoos?
important to me. What?
You have tattoos?
No, I have like these drawn things that my friend drew on me. It comes off though, so
Oh, okay.
I ain't
Fair.
paying $2,000 for shit. No, not
$2,000.
$200 for
This guy's
shit.
lying. This guy's lying.
Like tattoos is a part of the devil, mind you. Anybody who has tattoos is going straight to hell.
Yeah, haram.
I won't see you there. I'll be, you know, celebrating with Allah. It's Ramadan, by the way.
Is it?
Yeah.
Mazel tov.
Yeah. Mazala.
Mashallah, not mazala. That sounds like a cheese. White boy.
That's I'm saying that on purpose. Come on, I know
Like,
it's. I'm supposed to say.
Akbar. That's
I'm
what he
supposed to
says.
say Ramadan Kareem, aren't I? Isn't that what I'm supposed to say?
Or like, sure. Or you can be like, happy Ramadan, Raza, instead of trying to be brown. All right.
Happy Ramadan.
Thank you, Panda. Thank you. See, Panda doesn't try. It's more
Ha, I
genuine.
get to eat and you don't, bitch. How can I say that instead?
Okay, you guys are getting a little off course.
Thank you, Panda. Sorry, I'm already gonna have to do everything. Get us on.
I'm gonna give my last thoughts, and then hopefully that spirals out
All right.
to you guys. Okay, so the emotion, Riz, fantastic. Every time he felt something, I felt like I was feeling it. The frustration, the overwhelmingness of each situation he was put in. I'm one of those people that thinks about bad scenarios all the time. So if I lost my hearing, I'd be like, shit, now I have to not only function in this world being deaf, but you also have to learn sign language, which, like, that's stressful to me, Like, you have to learn how to speak again, how to hear, etc., right? His love and affection felt so real. It came through. And Olivia Cook, she's fantastic. I'm a huge fan of her. She might be the weakest part of this movie, maybe her father, but
Her dad is. I don't think she was that weak. I thought she actually held weight.
But he does exactly what he's intended to, which is come off as that stern father who's not a villain, but coming off as like a dick.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because he's French, so he doesn't really have the heaviness. Because he's French, he comes off as a dick. So that's what, like, he did it well. But I think he was a little bit of a more of a side character.
Well, he has played a villain before, right? This actor.
Many villains before, not just one.
Mete 2.
He
Emmerich. He's in 007, one of them. Quantum of Solace. Yes.
Yeah, that's where I remember him from. I was like, I've seen this guy before.
And Grand Budapest Hotel. I don't think he's a villain in that, though.
No.
Anyways, yeah. So Olivia Cook, love her, and her end really came through. She really cares about him, obviously, right? And
yeah. Okay, I'll go. Yeah. What Panda was saying, like off of the Riz comment, like, it's just he every, like, his emotions, he can put it off the screen and it comes onto you, like, she's busting everywhere. But it just you actually empathize with his character. No matter what he does, you sort of, like, want to feel bad for him, even though he screws up, even though he like kind of like does that, gets the implant thing. Like, I still felt bad because he didn't get what he sought out to get at the end, and that made his sort of, like, sadness worthwhile, and it translated onto me. It was like, oh, it says actually I'm crying right now, even though he did it to himself. So I just feel like his character was, like, he killed it ultimately. Like, he killed it. His character was whole rounded, fleshed out from beginning to end. You were just like, his journey was, it just hit the notes correctly, and you didn't, like, half of the movie I forgot it was Riz Ahmed, and I was just watching Ruben.
Some dude's life.
Yeah, I was just watching some dudes go on, and I was like, okay, this motherfucker can act. Let's get this guy in some roles.
Absolutely.
Yeah, nice, Bailey. What's gonna be my background?
It's amazing.
Sorry, I
It's a
had
good
to.
picture.
For the audio listeners, I found a photo of Raza Ahmed with a donut in his mouth. He just looks like a little squirrel, and it's cute. But I totally agree with you. My final note on all the things is like, yeah, definitely character development was fantastic and I really enjoyed the journey. I felt it was also very honest about an addict's journey and just brass tacks, and the fact that it didn't have a fairy tale ending helped to play to that. But Raza was complimenting the sound design, and obviously that's the thing that won awards. But the first time I watched it, I accidentally did it with headphones on. Good accident. I would recommend watching it with headphones on.
Amazing.
I like it. I like it. But the headphones on with all those audio transitions, excellent. It was like excellent because it hit that much more heavier when the shit got muffled. It was like, okay, this was the better choice.
Yeah, it's like as I was saying at the top of the show, it goes to show, like if a filmmaker cares about the community, there's a proper due diligence about the community, he can respect it easily. You don't have to you don't have to do a movie like fucking Bird Box and make it like a center like in apocalypse. And you have to make it blind, right? No, you can put them in real life situations. And it makes a very compelling character because you don't just get blind from a zombie apocalypse. You don't just force yourself to go blind that way. But this movie did a very good job at sort of humanizing it and made it sort of like what's the word? It's like a PSA for hearing loss ultimately. This is what can happen if you this is what happens when you go through hearing loss.
Right.
Not like exactly, but this.
But also, I think there's something in there to be said about addicts as well, and with their behavior and all that, right?
Yeah.
Also, Darius Martyr, the director, he also wrote it, and he actually wrote one of the movies I've been thinking about suggesting, The Place Beyond the Pines.
Bailey would love that movie. Bailey loves Ryan Gosling.
Yeah. Did he direct it too? No, he didn't direct it, but he did write it. And that, like I talked about last week, I believe, that movie, The Place Beyond the Pines, literally feels like a movie, like a book that you choose at random, read it, and be like, holy shit, how has no one ever mentioned this to me, or why isn't it recognized? That's what that movie felt like. And then to see a shift into a more linear story with, nothing.
Oh yeah, the Beyond the Book. Yeah, I've seen Beyond the Pines. It's told in a very weird way because there's a time jump in it, and that's
right.
All. Yeah, it's all in a very weird way.
But then you jump to Sound of Metal, and aside from that jump of him coming to terms with being deaf and learning sign language, it's kind of beat for beat, almost following him at a steady pace, right?
Throughout, yeah. Like I don't know how much time has passed. I'm pretty sure like at least a couple months. A year, okay.
I'd say so. Yeah.
Okay, because like it doesn't. Yeah, it did a good job at showing off his like. I think a year is kind of a good time frame because he does learn sign language. Like halfway through, pretty well. Like I did like those scenes where he's, as I was saying, he was racing a kid in the alphabet and he destroyed him. Mind you, he destroyed that kid in the alphabet. I felt that's like there were moments of those things where it was like we're seeing his character develop into something that could be good, but then the movie sort of like goes on its head and be like, nope, he's gonna get implants, and so I it sort of like throws you off on his like on his mindsets throughout. Because as an addict, you're not really consistent with what your thought processes are as you go, especially in a situation.
Right, and that goes back to the whole lesson that Joe was trying to teach him is you just need to chill. Like just sit, take in the world and not do anything. Like that's his problem is he's spontaneous, and that's why I love that scene where he's fixing the roof and Joe's like, you don't need to do that here. You don't need to do anything. In fact, I'm going to challenge you with just sitting and writing. Have some coffee, a donut, right? And I kind of love that metaphor, even though I still feel a little back and forth about how he was treated when it came to getting the surgery. You know, again, the belief system of that place, it does go against what they believe in and all that, but it's like he didn't feel accepted, and maybe that's just Riz and his acting. Again, seeing through Ruben's eyes of like getting turned down or pushed away at any inconvenience almost, because like his girlfriend puts him there, and even though she loves him and that she's the reason why he got sober and because they're successful in making money, she is like, you need to be here because you're not only an addict, but you're going deaf. And then he's accepted. And then the second that he's like, okay, it's time to get on with my life, you know, then it's like, no, you chose this path. You have to face it.
Right. Yeah. That's a very good way of putting it.
But also, I don't know what I'm saying because like there's so many emotions involved coming from this character, the writing, the acting, that it's like I acknowledge the themes and I don't know how I feel about all of them.
Yeah, it's
like that would be my devil's advocate argument, right? On the Wine Mom support side, like I love the ending. I love the way the story that was delivered, but like I feel that there would be justification for a room to argue that like the themes of the movie weren't particularly obvious.
Yeah, because you're dumb. Easy as that.
You're smooth brain. I'm five head. You're smooth brain.
Barely just like, where's my Star Wars cameo? Where's Lukey Luke? Where's my Yoda? No, I'm kidding. No,
but some people like people like narrative. You know what I mean? There's no sense of narrative. There's not even a title card to tell you what's happening. You know what I mean?
He's deaf.
Yeah. His hearing is going on
his hearing is gone. And then when he gets to the house, he is completely deaf.
This is hard for him.
It becomes a 1920s movie at that point where there's action and everything else is like in the words. No, I do feel I totally get where you're coming from, but to that I would say is that gets me. No, I'm kidding. Like it just told. I think these movies can be told this way. Not every movie needs to follow a typical, as I said earlier, not every movie needs to follow a typical narrative path. Like this movie it isn't about the character himself. It's about his reaction to losing his hearing. That's what the movie is about. So it's kind of hard to go with traditional story beats with that one, and the way it's told and the way it's sort of like paced out. It's as indie movies are like done. It's very like intimate, and you're not gonna get a whole bunch of exposition. You're just gonna get to the core of the movie. You're gonna get what's going on, how it's happening, and then it'll be up to you, or however the the filmmaker decides to end it, it'll be those things there, and then these movies don't require. I think they require a lot more nuance to get, and that sounds sort of like facetious of me to say, but
Competent asshole.
yeah, like you would be an asshole. I'm like this because these movies require you to sit down and pay attention to what's happening, right? Sure, there are other movies that are told linearly that require this, but this movie, in a way, it's very loose in the way it's told. Like, things are happening, scenes are out of order in some cases, so it requires, as a viewer, to actually go through it and sort of pick up what you, as a viewer, want, and it isn't going to be palatable to everyone. That's what I thought watching. I was like, this is a hard watch. This is not for everybody. This is going to be a very niche movie, but God, like, look at it's one of the it was one of the highest rated movies of 2018. So like it did what it was supposed to do ultimately. But I agree with your sentiment, Bailey. Ultimately.
Yeah, that's also why I'm not praising it as like the best movie ever, because I could see that hole being poked in it. But for me, very good, top tier. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It was told in a way that, like, I don't think it could have been done any better or any worse. It was told in a very simple way. Man's loses hearing. Man's has got to deal with his hearing loss. Man sells his RV. Man's goes back to his girl, and Man's has his moment of illness. That's what it is.
The only thing that could have ruined this movie is having different actors involved. If you would have gotten, like, I don't know, Ryan Gosling. I love Ryan Gosling, but if you put him into this role, I don't think it would have worked. And it's funny because the writer-director had technically worked with Ryan Gosling before, and Ryan Gosling's a good actor, but somehow I don't see him in this role. And I don't see it getting as much buzz as it did. Maybe it's because Riz is a breath of fresh air.
Mm-hmm. I was going to say because he's brown. You're going to go with that. No.
I think he brought that realness you guys were both describing. Yeah. Go ahead, Raza. That was all I had.
No, that's essentially what I was going to say. But yeah, go on, Bailey. Go.
Oh, that was it. That was why I said that's all I had.
It's like as I guess we said earlier, he brings this like sort of like new energy to it, where people don't want these big actors in their MCU movies. Now they want sort of focused movies, honed in movies, very intimate with a small fucking cast, mind you. This movie, like, I'm looking at the Wikipedia. There's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the pharmacist is considered a main role in this. So, like, this movie, I believe the reason why it's able to do it in a way, or it was well received and it was able to tell a cohesive story, is it was not hard to shoot. From what I'm reading, it took here it said 25 days to shoot.
That's a pretty lengthy.
24 non-consecutive days to shoot, and with 2 hours per scene. So
okay,
they would quickly do everything, and it feels like that way too, because like I don't think there were many takes. That's because a lot of these cuts seem raw, and I feel a lot of these actors were able to portray their emotions with fewer cuts. You know, I'm not a film guy, but I feel like if you can take the less cuts, the more emotion you will get out of an actor, the less tired they are. From what I've read in interviews.
Yeah, it depends. Everything really depends on the person that you're dealing with, you know. again, there's people like Stanley Kubrick who are famous for pushing literal people to their insanity on like The Shining, Shelley Duvall, right? That scene, her reaction to Jack busting in through the door with the axe took 200 and I want to say like 34 takes, and at the time was the record for most takes. And again, like, he was the type of director that was so smart. Sadly, he abused this poor woman to, film a scene over and over again until you got perfection. As where this guerrilla filmmaking technique, which you're implying happened, I imagine they took, a few retakes, obviously, but it works, especially for this type of content, where it feels like you're not even watching a documentary. It's like you're just watching this section of this guy's life.
Yeah, you're in his shoes, practically.
Right. And it works.
It also shows when a character like from the last movie we saw, Bad Times at El Royale, right? Panda and I have been picking bangers, not gonna lie.
I picked a good movie. Get out of my house. Come on.
I'm in my house, Bailey. You're in your I feel like a lot of that movie where the actors cared about their role, cared about the project, and it showed because they did a good job at conveying a story. The same can be said here. Raza Malik, I'm like reading them. Man spent 2 hours a day learning American Sign Language and learning drums. The American Sign Language I get, but for drumming, I don't. He didn't really drum much in that movie. But it's good that he went above and beyond, because when you're into a role, it shows how much you care and you're committed to it.
So I'll touch on by that is that, again, going back to what I first said with the detail, whether you're looking at the RV and how there's books above where they sleep and pictures of their times together on the fridge, right? Then you go into the aspect of looking at this from different points of view. Think of it, someone who's deaf watching this movie. If they will relate and like, they'll pick up on stuff we're not even hearing because of the sign language. So there's jokes and conversations in here for people that can read sign language, right?
Imagine
and then
they dropped like a slur or two and the movie didn't even pick it up. It was like the deaf were like, we got that.
I mean, like, there's the scene where Ruben and the girl he becomes friends with at the camp, and he's drawing the naked woman. And she's like, give her some bush, not too big, but again, I don't know what they were saying to each other, but you can, where she's like, oh, some bush is fine, but not too much.
Yeah.
Anyways, that's.
All right.
But, then even.
But it humanizes the characters. It helps it seem like it, because so many people are looking at those people with hearing loss like they're different.
Right, and not even just people that are deaf, but then into the medical aspect, how they were doing those tests. Right, I've been to one of those tests, and it is exactly as it's portrayed. Right, so medically, from the point of view of people that are deaf, and then to go back to what you were saying, Raza, is the drumming. I guarantee anyone that's in a punk band might watch this movie and be like, shit, they captured the punk or metal grunge little area, or little venue, I should say, that they first perform at, and then the second one. This world feels 100% legit to me.
Yeah, it feels like as both of you guys said, lived in. It's like it's alive. Everything has its like role in it. Every character is doing what they're supposed to do, and you can see these people in the real world, and that's how it makes his sort of journey a lot more believable. It's a good sort of way to. It's a good way to show a very small, like a very small topic, not topic, but a small. Small isn't even the right word either. It's like a realistic topic to everyone else, and this movie does it with a lot of the details. Yeah, as you said.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm with it. I'm with it. Do you guys want to do a clap session and throw us to break, and then we don't have woulda, coulda, shoulda, but we're gonna do buy it, rent it, skip it. You guys ready for that? Yeah, you good? You good? You good? Okay, we're rounding up. Thank you for the opinion so far. All right, claps. Give me claps. Thank you, Raza. Thank you, Raza. Clap to yourself.
Sign language claps.
Yeah, sorry. Jazz hands.
Yeah, didn't they snap their fingers?
Yeah, sometimes, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I can't snap my fingers.
Oh, you're talking about jazz.
No, I'm talking about how. No, okay, no.
Okay, so we're gonna keep it moving. To close it out, you guys just heard our wonderful descriptions. We rambled a bit this time, but we were obviously a little artistically inspired by this film. So good choice, Raza. Thank you for picking the homegrown boys to keep us eyes gazing. That didn't make sense. So our final section for the show is what we do is we do buy it, rent it, or skip it. And we let you know which one of those we think you should do, even though most of them are irrelevant now because we stream everything. I think Raza should be the first one to describe whether we're going to buy it, rent it, or skip it.
I think you should buy it, rent it. Okay, I think you should rent it. By renting it, I mean stream it. It's a good little one-time watch. You know, I mean, if you want to watch it again with somebody, sure, but you'll get satisfied from it after one watch. It's a movie you can revisit in a couple years. That's what I would say, but don't necessarily buy it. It's not a movie that needs to be purchased. But streaming it is it's one of those movies you can put on. It'd be like, oh, this is a interesting movie. I want to take a peek at this, and then you'll get engrossed in like the first 20 minutes. Because the shit starts to hit the fan early on. It doesn't take time to build up. It just puts you in the world immediately. Yeah, just stream it or rent it ultimately. Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I would say I want to be the progressive one, and for once I would say buy it because I think a lot of people need to be more informed on the ASL side of things. Like I think that's a very good and underrepresented group that deserves a lot of support in society because those subtle transitions that were shown in that film are often underrepresented. Like the subtle difficulties he had just communicating with people, you know.
Right. And yeah, it's hard from my perspective to really suggest because I love buying movies and I like depressing movies. Not that this is inherently depressing, but a lot of people would see it that way, I feel. Like a good portion of people that would watch this movie would be like, it's fucking depressing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is a depressing movie through and through. There's only moments of happiness in this in this movie, and they're like fleeting moments. They're not even like
sure, but that's like life for some people, right?
They need to get their shit and watch fucking Sesame Street and get happy. No, I'm kidding.
And why don't you pull up your bootstraps and just deal with people telling you to go back home, kid?
So yeah, if you're a film nerd, buy it. It's worth a watch. I guess a semi warning for people that have like sensory issues.
And any sort of addiction issues.
Yeah. And as I said like twice already, it's a hard watch. So prepared to sit down, sit
Lots
your
of
ass
content
down,
warning.
and
Lots of
get
content.
spoken to in by a movie, and learn. Yeah.
But I don't own it, but if I come across it, and yeah, I'll probably add it to my collection. That's what I'm gonna say.
It's on the what's that collection of movie called?
Criterion.
Criterion.
Yes, it is.
Yes.
It's in the closet.
Okay, so
It's
quick question while we're
okay.
still live before we do our outro bits. What is the Criterion collection? Can you please explain this to me?
So it's about it's basically like that team that Steven Spielberg, George Lucas, Martin Scorsese all came together to originally start to do, which
Okay.
is saving films and making sure that they're available to watch. It's in the same vein where it's a company that has come to acknowledge higher art films and to make sure that they're distributed properly and they're packaged properly, and
Okay.
it has all the love of film put into a DVD or Blu-ray, and it has recognition too. Like, again, I didn't even know until like a year ago that Criterion has a streaming service. I don't know if it's accessible to us, but if I was to actually pay for any streaming platform, that would be the one, because it's like,
If you have HBO Max, you can get it.
Oh,
there
I
you
didn't know that.
go. See, I don't. So I don't pay for anything.
Can I add on to what you're saying, Panda?
Yeah.
This collection, I don't know if this is right, but I'm just gonna say it. It introduced the letterbox format, which added black bars to top and bottom of a 4:3 standard television. So, that's one of its biggest contributions to filmmaking. Is it's that and also special editions. It introduced special editions. It introduced commentary soundtracks, and it was the first company, or the first body, or whatever it's called, to introduce film on restoration, according to this.
Right. So this actually might be the outcome of that group of directors I was talking about.
Yes.
Because I wonder if the Red Shoe, I think it's called the Red Shoe. The Red Shoe. The Red Shoes. Criterion. Yep. Yeah, exactly. Again, so like there are literally films out there that are on film deteriorating, and it takes tons of fucking money to restore, to preserve, and to transfer this film onto something like digital / Blu-ray, DVD, and that's what they do. They're film lovers that are trying to save film and present the best films out there. Like Seven Samurai is on the Criterion list, you know? Yeah.
Okay, true. No, I didn't know.
You can, there's a YouTube channel. Their YouTube channel, you can watch actors and actresses and film directors go into that big closet and just start picking out shit. Ethan Hawke. I watched an Ethan Hawke one.
The Bill Hader one's great too.
I haven't seen that one yet.
They just let people go in and choose whatever they want for free, and it's like wet dream. And these people are rich already, but it's great to hear them also talk about their favorite films of all time. You know, so
yeah, it's really it's basically, if you're a movie snob like all three of us here, it's for us essentially. It's a very good. It can open our palettes of a lot more, I find, because they have movies from every single category.
and country.
Bollywood movies in there too. They're fucking. They're not that good, man. Why are they in that library? They're mid compared to whatever No, but you should definitely check him out. It's a good little project.
I mean, all I'm gonna say is I'm
It's a
pretty
little
sure
project.
Little project.
every single David Lynch movie ever made is included. Wes Anderson, I don't know if every movie, but most of them have been included. Again, higher art, people
Higher
that will respect film.
You won't see, unfortunately, you will see Wall-E in this situation, and yeah, it got added last year. Yeah. Wait, what? First Walt Disney title. This was not a result of the ongoing deal between Disney and Criterion. Waiting to be part of the club. All right. You won't see Iron Man 1, 2, or 3 or the Avengers here, but you will see Zack Snyder's 4-hour-long Snyder cut in here.
Yay! Oh, wonderful.
No, I'm kidding. RoboCop's in here.
You're capping, man.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Great podcasting, boys. Good content. Good content. Let's Google with the podcast listeners. But
Beauty and the Beast is in here, but the 1946 one.
either way, as Raza reads out and we sign out tonight, I want to thank everybody for joining us. I had a good movie club. I enjoyed talking about this film. This one is a big inspiration. I've already pulled aside a list I'm going to pick from. I'm going to try to decide.
It better be fucking on caliber with what Panda and I have.
I got
presented.
some classics. I got a weird list. I got a very weird list.
So far, your weird list has been showing us Pitch Black. So we
You
don't
didn't hate it that much. You're now just
I don't
being
like
a
it
negative
either.
Nancy.
I don't like it. You didn't even like it either, Bailey. Shut the
It's
fuck
not
up.
all about picking good movies. Sometimes it's about seeing different things.
I have never seen the movie I picked, so.
Have you ever seen Vin Diesel? You ever seen a man dislocate his shoulders over his head? I really don't think you have. I really don't think you have.
You have now.
I have now. I saw it 3 weeks ago.
All right, so it can't be that bad. Also, through this experience, you now understand what it's like to become a smack addict.
Okay, Bailey.
So
No
look
one
at that.
can
See, you're learning. You're learning. So if you stop being a negative Nancy, what you could do is take my valuable opinions, add some perspective to it,
Nancy, I don't.
walk away from it, and put some respect on my name.
Hey Bailey. I hang out with you way too much. I'm starting to hate things a lot more now. I need to stop doing that.
It's gonna bring up how great it's gonna be that you're coming down next week.
Yeah, fantastic. He's gonna ruin the game. We're gonna be like, this game fucking sucks, man. I can. No, I'm kidding. He likes certain things.
I love zombies. Yay, zombies.
See, already canceling it, and they haven't started yet.
I got a good list. I know what movie I think I want to watch next week, but we'll see. We'll see. I'll add the list and see what people say.
Give us a hint.
I want to watch a classic Pacino Depp film because it's been stuck in my head.
Is it Blow?
But I got a list. Yeah.
Johnny
Yeah.
Brasco. Yeah. Okay. Is it?
But
Okay.
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I got a whole list. I'm gonna drop the list. I'll get to see how you guys warm up to it.
He's doing it because he wants to appease to Wine Mom.
That's I want to give one little bit of opportunity to screen the list. I'm still probably gonna end up picking Johnny Brasco at the end of it because
you should pick What's Eating Gilbert Grape after that.
Okay, Raza, do our sign-offs and then I'll give you the hints at what movies I'm watching. I don't want to say it all on air.
What's with you with disability movies, Raza? First, you get a movie about a girl that falls into a coma for no reason. Then, deaf guy.
What's next, pal?
What's Eating Gilbert Grape?
Are you feeling okay about something? Is everything all right, pal?
Next movie is gonna be Ready. It's gonna be we're addicted to VR. and we're
Ready
gonna
Player One.
yeah we're gonna need to be in the metaverse at all times.
Olivia Cook is in that too.
He's in it, yeah, no. So it's something big.
And
Anyways,
Wine Mom, if you're ever listening to this, Olivia Cook is a babe, and she could get it.
how old is she?
29, 30?
Yeah, I saw some Olivia Cook photos, and she was quite pretty.
Okay,
93.
I want to check before I make, because now
She's our age. She's our age.
I'm online. I have, before I jump and make those statements, I always double check their ages before I even blurt out my affection towards an actress or an actor. But anyways, thank you guys for watching us. What's this? Fucking Terminator.
I'm gonna have to put these JPEGs in post, man. But all right, I'll go quick, Raza.
Thank you, guys.
It's March Madness.
You can
Day 24. You're gonna catch us in post. You can also go to the disseminate.
I've been playing games a lot. Bailey's been taking a lot of time off. A lot of it.
Oh my god.
I've been doing a lot of the work here. It's sad, but it's not true. But you can follow us on TikToks, on YouTube's. TikTok won't be in here anymore next week, but you can follow us on YouTube. We're in Canada, so it probably will be here next week. But YouTube, Twitch, Spotify, OnlyDance, and other than that, what else are we on? Oh, and then if you want to hit up on our Discord, it's what's our Discord?
Marching into Madness Discord. I'll share the link later. It's in the podcast description that you're listening to right now.
Join that, and it'll be fun. It'll be a good old time. But thank you guys again, and we will see you on the flip side. Weekenders.
Hey, okay, I'm probably gonna end it actually, since we gotta flip it anyways for the Diablo. So thank you everybody.
Diablo, I gave up. I didn't even fucking.
You gave up? Do you want me to stay on for Let's Chat then, or what do you want to do?
Like 2 minutes ago. Well, what do you guys want to do? Do you guys want to play a game, or do you just want to chat?
I would like to just chat for a second then, if we're doing that and we're giving up on Diablo, because then I can see someone for their birthday.
I'm gonna go for a smoke real quick, so I'll be back.
I swear to God, Panda. I swear to God, Panda.
I need agua after you, primarily. I need to get agua.
Wine, Dad.
Okay, go BRB. Do a BRB.
And get agua and
There's also Bobble. Can you get? My mom is in the toilet and she's like announcing that.
Mics are on. Don't worry, we didn't hear it that badly. Yeah, we couldn't make out what she was saying in Urdu. You're okay.
One second.
Mom, close the door when you're shitting. Mom, I told you not to leave the door open when you shit. Salam, Mama.
It's adorable because like when my mom was in Pakistan, her and I would talk. I was here, and I would be like, "Why does it sound like there's an echo now?" She's like, "I'm in the washroom." I'm like, oh, that's you can put me on mute, Mom. It's fine. You don't talk to me. I don't have to be there in the washroom with you while like on call.
I just put my phone down. I'll be right back. I dropped it.
It's right there. It's behind you.
But you know.
Yeah, Bailey's got some good picks. He should also pick Kick-Ass 2. Brad Pitt's in that one. No, he's not. Then why is it showing me Brad Pitt?
Brad Pitt.
Wait. Kick-Ass.
Brad Pitt.
Oh, he did something. He produced them. That's it. He didn't. Oh, he produced them.
Oh.
Yeah. Have you seen Babylon yet?
Me? Yes.
Oh,
Yeah.
thank you.
Well, I got kind of bored halfway through and I just stopped watching it. I was like, I don't understand what's happening right now.
It's chaos for sure, but I loved it.
Okay, I'll check it out. I'll try to give it a chance.
Again, it is one of those like artsy, like here's behind the scenes of how movies used to be made, and they're all chaotic and upped on coke and alcohol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's basically a homage to Hollywood.
Literally, the last minute, maybe 2 minutes, is cuts throughout other films. So, like, Avatar shows up.
Okay.
I'm not even kidding. Like, there's clips from famous movies throughout time. And I was like, why are they showing CGI? And I'm like, oh, right, Damien Chazelle, or whatever his name is, loves film. And he wanted to show how far we've come. Like, at first, I thought he was kind of hating.
Yeah.
Because, like, CGI has kind of ruined movies in a sense. But,
No. Just Star Wars.
Just Star Wars. That's
I know. I agree. 100%. I agree.
Yeah, I agree. Practical effects are very refreshing to see as of late. So that's why I've been enjoying this season of the Mando much more. I'm missing shows that rely much more on the practical effects and just build the background scenes with the CGI. Because I feel like every time I watch a Marvel movie, it's just fucking a guy with a suit on and green balls. You know what I mean? Like Spider-Man's really starting to break me.
It's in Atlanta. It's like all shot in like in Atlanta, with like the one set there and whatnot. Yeah, I do like for example, like Dune. I know, haha, Dune. The fuck was that? Oh,
sorry, that's me watching shit. Sorry.
Oh, sorry. Are we boring you, Bailey?
No, I'm trying to pick a movie. I'm multitasking, you prick.
Oh, you have 2 weeks, by the way.
wait, only 1 week?
Yeah, how does that work? Yeah, that's why I was panicking. That's why I was rushing.
I'll have like next week, but I do like how Dennis. I can't ever say his last name, but
Villeneuve.
Like, I love how he doesn't. He uses CGI in Dune and whatnot, but it's not overly done. It's very balanced. You can actually believe that you're on the planet and shit like that. So as like, I forget what movie I was watching recently, but everything. It was like a Marvel movie, and everything you could see that they were trying to be quick about it.
Oh.
And you could see like the back was sort of like protruding out of the green screen,
Mm-hmm.
and you could definitely like see that this is the aging of this is even worse. Why are you sending me a virus?
I'm not. I'm trying to send a picture, but it's not working for some reason.
You've lost your picture privileges apparently, according to Discord.
Have I?
I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, I a lot of these like slower or not slower, just smaller movies like Everything Everywhere All at Once and stuff like that. It just that's way more captivating to me now. When there's a movie that comes out like Bullet Train, I am there watching it, sitting my ass down, and watching Brad Pitt kick or kill Bad Bunny.
Oh, I forgot he was in that.
Me too. I saw it again. I was like, oh, yeah, he's in this. But it's those type of movies are what we need more, and I think the audience is starting to understand that now.
I mean, when Steven Spielberg hugs Tom Cruise and is like, "Thank you for Top Gun."
Oh, yes.
Yeah. You in Scientology? Let's fucking go. It's yeah, and like even Top Gun. It's weird how that used not that much of practical effects. It was, I mean, not that much CGI. I should.
Well, that's why I think it was so good. That was part of why it was so good.
Yeah, and then
because imagine you can't CGI that. Imagine Tom Cruise isn't that good of an actor. That's a lot of G-force. This is freaking trying to pretend you're getting pulled through a cockpit. That's a hard acting job, fam.
Yeah, but yeah, it's just like when you are in that role, like when you are Tom Cruise doing that, I believe there's still hope. So yeah, it was good seeing movies are back and Saved by Tom Cruise. Thank you, Tom Cruise. Shout
once again.
Once again.
It's funny. I think that my next recommendation might have Tom Cruise in it.
Mine too. Now that I think about it, like the movie that I want to watch, I feel like he's not the main character, but I do think he's in the movie that I'm going to be picking.
Interesting. We'll have to...
I'm so tempted to pick a war movie to make my mom watch a war movie.
Yeah. Like Dunkirk?
I don't know. I'm just because the War Machine got me thinking. Because that would be it's not a good enough watch. Just I need to pick a better war movie than War Machine if I'm gonna pick one.
Is good.
Which one?
Watch him pick Saving Private Ryan, which also has Vin Diesel in it.
Diesel in it, yeah.
We have the Siege of Jadetville.
I never heard of that. It's so weird, dude. This has happened to me twice about the movies I picked. Or I have been. Yeah, I have picked. With you, Perfect, or what's the movie you picked first, Panda? I forget the movie you picked first.
The first movie was
a something woman.
Oh, Promising Young Woman. Yeah.
A Promising Young Woman. It had Bo Burnham in it, and the movie I picked had Bo Burnham in it. And then the movie I just picked, fucking Sound of Metal, had Riz Ahmed in it. I just randomly put on the Bourne Identity 2 nights ago, and then about 15 minutes into the movie, like. Riz Ahmed in that? I forget. This has happened to me quite a bit, and I don't like this. This is getting weird. Once is a coincidence. Second time, all right, what's going on? Third time is what the.
I mean, like unless we're going like full artsy fartsy independent films, we're gonna get lots of crossovers. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, but like not into succession. Like the next movie I saw after Sound of Metal was literally the Bourne Identity, or the Jason Bourne.
Yeah, Jason Bourne.
It was Jason Bourne. And then I conveniently watched his episode of Hot Ones. After that.
Jason Bourne's.
Yeah, Jason Bourne. He gets
Bourne
like amnesia halfway through the episode while homie's interviewing him. He just knocks him out. Like, who the fuck are you?
I forgot how hot the wings are. I could pick Fury with LaBeouf.
The movie's
That's
so
a good
mid.
movie.
I
It's a
forgot
mid
about it.
movie.
I
I don't
think
like
my
that.
mom might have seen it, but it's also got John Bernthal. So
And
Brad
yeah,
Pitt, Shia, John Bernthal,
and that kid from
Percy Jackson.
Percy Jackson kid, yeah, Dylan O'Brien. No,
No, that's the Teen Wolf guy.
they all look the same to me now. All
I
these like,
know.
yeah, fuck. Can they have some sort of differentiating look?
One of them was in a Taylor Swift music video or
That's the
something.
one who I'm thinking about. That's the one. He was
Look at
also in fucking Bullet Train.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the walk.
Recommend Bullet Train, Bailey. It has your two favorite actors in it. I don't care if I've just seen it like two,
Same.
three.
And why mom's
Yeah.
been meaning to watch it too.
Yeah.
Okay,
So this
then
would-
maybe.
I mean,
It
no
ha-
pressure.
Channing I like how Channing. Have you seen it, Panda?
Yeah, but you're
Channing
spoiling.
Tatum and Ryan Reynolds has like a very like two very small roles in it. I
And-
like how Channing Tatum's like, is this a sex thing when he's like,
His handler, I was surprised by too. That
oh no, I knew it because of the trailers. She's
yeah.
in-
See, I avoided as much as possible, which I try to do.
Yeah, she was very. Everybody in that movie was good. Yeah, Bailey. It has Brian Tyree Henry, Paperboy.
Yeah, from Atlanta.
Yeah. And it has Zazie Beetz
Oh.
from Atlanta.
Yeah, no, I do
And-
know this. I was talking about it a few weeks ago.
You've seen
Logan
it?
Lerman. That's
No,
right.
that I wanted to see it, so.
It's great. Again, it's like you know that period in like the late 90s, early 2000s where we were getting like action movies nonstop? And
Yeah.
then that kind of just died out. Like
Yeah.
we just kind of stopped getting action movies. That's what it feels like. It feels like now with like Top Gun and
John.
Bullet Train, we're getting like those 2000s action movies, but with a huge budget and actually thought out, you know?
Yeah, I'm so sorry. Like now all these action movies are surprisingly good they have no business being this good, but they're like, we are like, look at John Wick. All the John Wick movies are actually like, for on paper this movie shouldn't be this like, it shouldn't last this long and they shouldn't be this good, but when they put it out, like, what is happening? Yeah, even possible too. Like, look at
That's
the-
what I was gonna say. They keep getting better. Like
Yeah, they have no business. They have no business getting. Action movies are dumb, sort of like buddy, like just beating each other up. But they have stories now,
Yep.
which is so weird, and they're thought out stories too. And they have characters that are compelling. For some reason, you shouldn't have deep characters for your action movies. You should have archetypes. But I'm glad, like, John Wick has like these fleshed out characters. It makes shit so much better. I just wish the Mortal Kombat movie, the new one, was like.
Yeah, see that's again Warner Brothers, I wanna say.
It was
Yeah.
good. Like, I thought Scorpion was gonna have a bigger role in that movie though.
There's too many problems. First off, it's not a Mortal Kombat movie. It's training for Mortal Kombat. It's not actual Mortal Kombat.
There's Mortal Kombat in the name, Panda.
Oh yeah.
You're not.
It's more like how we gain powers before we go to Mortal Kombat. That's what they should have called it.
Yeah, the only like affiliation to Mortal Kombat that people will know, not the Mortal Kombat fans, is Scorpion. That's it, right? Everybody else is like, if you're a Mortal Kombat fan, you'd be like, oh, that's what's his face? I have the character's hair. I have it. I fucking have it. Don't go with it.
Zero?
Sub-Zero is in it. You're right. Sonya Blade. That's who I'm thinking of. It has everybody. It has everybody that the fans will like. But
Yeah, except for a brand new, fresh character. Like, young, hot dude with a daughter is Scorpion's grandson. Great. We don't know why he's here.
yeah,
Yeah.
Louis Tan. as Cole Young, he's new to the Mortal Kombat, I think.
Okay, what I think they should have done is have the cops be the blind ones in this universe.
Right.
You know, have Jax and have Sonya be like, we live in reality. This shit doesn't make sense, and they're the point of entry into that world, rather than like, here's a good guy who's trying to do a good thing, and he gains powers, and
He gets a nice suit of armor though. That's pretty cool. He gets nice armor at the end. But the beginning of the movie is so cool. Like Bailey knows who. I'm sure you guys have seen this actor in a bunch of different movies. Hirako Sanada.
mm-hmm.
He was in the Last
Scorpion,
Samurai.
right?
Yeah, he was in the Last Samurai. He comes in a bunch. He plays a tragic hero in a lot of movies. He did a very good job as Scorpion, and I think his parts were the best. His parts were. This is who it's about, but they just have him in very little shit. So, yeah, it's an unfortunate because movie games they're kind of, the curse is kind of broken. The Last of Us sort of showed what it can be. Showed. I'm interested to see the Ghost of Tsushima show now. Because it's going to be a show.
Interesting.
It's going to be done by, I forget who's going to be doing it, but it's a guy who knows his shit. And if it's told, I believe if it's told in a show format, you have a lot, and if you do it well, you have a lot more things to play around with, a lot more room. Bailey, I'm going to hear from your flickering light.
I just noticed that.
Yeah.
It's not like in something.
Okay, so sorry, Panda.
No, I think one of the major problems is trying to go based off brand names, right? Like obviously, you know, Mario. You can't do a live action Mario these days. That's why the '90s one is slept on, because it's a movie from its time that's weird and has animatronics and a built set that is fucking fantastic, and it's weird and super 90s, and everything doesn't add up to the video game, right? But then you get, you know, a Mario movie and it all has to be spot on, except for Chris Pratt apparently.
Me, Mario.
Yeah. But again, go like you know, for years they were talking about making a movie. Oh man, I can't remember the game name. Something Lynch.
Kane Lynch.
Right. Which I never played, but the concept alone was like, make this into a movie. It sounds great, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, what I wanted to say is like Twisted Metal would make a great series, in my opinion. If they follow Twisted Metal Black, it's basically about the Shadow Man that goes to different facilities like insane asylums, jails, etc., to find these people that are mentally unstable to take part in a race / you know, death race kind of.
Yeah, they would definitely need to, because like, okay, so I think okay, that a lot of game narratives are downright impossible to translate to movies. But this one, there are movies already that have the same sort of structure, the same sort of like vibe going on. Is that I think this movie can be made unless somebody who makes the movies is 100% or the games is 100% in charge of directing and producing, which is hard to do. So that concept can be translated into a different format, but the hard part is getting a Hollywood director to look at from a video game perspective and be like, this is how it's supposed to be. This is how it like the Assassin's Creed movie. it should have been translated well because it can work in a movie concept, but they were focusing too much on making
How
it
to build a
Hollywood,
giant robo arm.
which is not true to the actual lore of the future timeline. So I do think if they take the time with that sort of thing and bring in people who understand what Twisted Metal is about, what that narrative is about, then it can be made.
Right.
But if you just throw a random Hollywood actor at it, you're just gonna screw it up, which is a high chance of it happening. So that's why I think The Last of Us worked, because the studio and the game developers were working together.
Right.
Yeah.
You know who I'd love to see do anything? The guy that created Saw. He did the new Invisible Man. I don't know if you saw that. And
I've seen
Upgrade.
the trailers of it.
I never did actually see it.
Have you guys not seen Upgrade?
Long, like when it first came out, it was like this weird,
No.
like it was sci-fi.
Yeah.
Horror, kind of? Yeah.
It's a future sci-fi horror-esque action.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he is fucking great. Leia something. Again, he's the guy from the first Saw who wrote and created Saw.
Right.
Anyways, he's a director that I feel like if you were to give him a rated R game property, he would dive in. And again, like The Invisible Man was such a simple concept for a 1930s, 40s movie, right? Which is a man drinks a potion that he's created that turns him invisible and insane, and then he becomes obsessed with someone and is willing to kill anyone in his way. And then you go to modern day where remakes are hated on, right? And he's like, how about this? A woman is leaving her abusive husband, and somehow he is haunting her from after his death, as an invisible man. And it's so underrated as like a horror movie. And
yeah, see, if like that's a good example. If someone understands the properties that they're working on, it can work.
right. Even if you have a different vision, is what I'm trying to say.
Look at exactly. I agree. What's another good example of this? Like a different, like books are like certain books are told in a different way, and it sometimes ends up good because they're able to understand the like what they're doing after they can afford to tell it in a different way to make it more palpable for a visual thing. So like the fucking what's Grindhouse, not Blumhouse. That guy. He's gonna be making games based on a movie based on Dead by Daylight. Right. So,
which makes me a little worried.
Yeah.
Me too.
I'm not even a fan of the game, but Jason Blum is.
Not Jason Blum. It's what's his name?
Yeah, from Blumhouse. Jason.
No, it's the like. Oh, I think thinking of.
I think you're thinking of the same person.
He did a bunch. He did that. He does a bunch of. Oh, it is okay. It is James Blunt. I was thinking of somebody else. Okay, yeah. So this is okay. It could be iffy because this studio and this director is all about in your face type stuff, and Dead by Daylight is kind of like that, but it's also about the atmosphere. So that kind of makes me a little bit like on the fence about it. But this is also in their wheelhouse. Blumhouse is known for these type of like doing stories or things.
Right.
So,
see, and like he produced Get Out and The Invisible Man, right? But then he's produced Megan and The Visitor. Well, I haven't seen The Visitor. Halloween Ends. And They Them. Oh my god. which I still
Yeah, that They Them movie was so weird. When I was on, then I realized that people actually spent money to make it. What?
Paranormal Activity. Yeah, see, like he has hits and misses. Dashcam, which is that movie that Wine Mom made me watch, and it was horrible. Far rightist vlogger that is so fucking annoying ends up tied into this ridiculous series of events with like a possessed old woman. And it's like Stuber but with a possessed person in the back, and it was like I'd rather watch Twilight than ever watch that movie again.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. It like if it's on your watch list, save yourself the time. It's not worth it.
Wait, so what's the issue with this movie?
This sounds
Dash
good
Cam?
to you? That sounds a little, that sounds a little too over the edge
Yeah,
for
like
me.
the whole concept of it. I've seen like trailers and images. It's like a found footage type
Yeah.
movie.
Yeah, it's
I like those perspectives and stuff.
same, but it's a missed opportunity. Like you don't like the main character, and there's absolutely no retribution for the way she acts. She is a Trump supporter. She's an anti-vaxxer. She's annoying and gets drunk and treats people like shit.
Okay.
Like there's no reason for it other than conflict.
COVID-19 restrictions and homelessness in Los Angeles, and he books a flight to London. Oh, this seems dumb as hell.
Yeah, and then I don't know. It's taking energy out of me. I bought this movie.
Operation Double Drop. You bought
That's not
Operation-
it. I just had to share that. I forgot about this movie.
Okay, so then there's this movie that like you should to get the taste out of your mouth, watch Halloween House LLC or LLT.
Right.
Watch that.
There's been a few movies.
Don't watch the other three, but watch the first one. It's just
Right.
white people never learn their lesson. It's the same thing over and over again. Let's go to the house where motherfuckers were killed. And if there are maybe like there have been two documentaries of this. There's a news report on this, guys. We already have our answers. I'm gonna go now. And if I see you on the news, that's on New Fam.
There's a new movie coming out, The Blackening.
Yeah,
Have you seen anything about this?
I've seen this. Yes, I was dying at it. Yes, I've seen The Blackening. I don't know a lot about it, but I've seen it. I died that it was the movie with that title was coming out.
Well, the joke is like, oh, black people are always like, oh, we wouldn't be in that position because white people are dumb, right? But then you take a whole group of black friends with a killer, and then you see the result of how they would act, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the killer is
with a mask who demands that they're ranked the degree of blackness so he can determine the correct order in which to kill them.
Yes.
Yeah.
We will be seated. This is I can already tell you it's gonna be fucking Jay Farrell's in this. Okay.
Yes. Yeah, I suggest watching the trailer, Raza, because it looks great. It looks great.
Bailey, have you seen? I don't know. And then I still want to watch that.
You sound like you're from London.
I still want I still want to watch that that movie you recommended a while ago. It's also found footage, but it's shot from a specific angle.
Oh, Skinamarink?
Skinamarink, yeah. I still want to watch that.
I know. There's a lot of memes.
I know. I have it now, but I just don't have time to watch it. So I'm definitely gonna hop on that at some point and give myself fucking nightmares.
Yeah, I suggest banking it for when you feel like you can sit through almost a 3-hour movie that feels like nothing is happening. Again, you'll either love it or hate it, and tons of people are like, this dude really Oh, let me see how much it costs.
Probably like $12.
No, again, Paranormal Activity even was like 500,000, and that's why, because everyone went to see it, and so it quadrupled or however much intake from selling tickets from.
God damn, man! This is what I hate about movies these days, or like since like Hollywood has kind of struck gold with sequels. They're like, oh, if one movie sells well, let's make 30 more. And that's how the fucking Saw movies were made.
Listen, I love the Saw movies, and every single Paranormal Activity has made bank. The last one,
Because
there's two of them that are like really fucking bad, and
I like the first three, and that's basically it.
yeah. But have you seen Something Activity?
Paranormal Activity.
Yeah, Paranormal Activity. Next of Kin? No, it's not Next of Kin.
The first one, right? Next of Kin.
That was the latest one, but there's one where there's a Mexican kid.
Oh yeah, I've seen that one, and there's time travel in that one. There's they go back to the ending of that movie is the beginning of the first movie. I had to stop watching it because I got so angry at that movie. I was like, are they kidding me?
No, that's the 3D one with a 3D camera.
No, the Mexican kid one was like the one where it ends with like the beginning of the first movie.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Okay, well,
I audibly got mad at that one.
I really like that one because it was like a different point of view from a different minority of people.
Yeah, but time travel. What the fuck?
But he gained powers and he thought he was like a superhero.
Yeah.
But he was possessed, which is great.
Kind of, I don't know. See,
what are we upset about? Who are we upset about?
Really not. Have you seen the movie a superhero movie? Andrew Bro superhero.
Hancock.
No, Hancock. It's like the found footage one.
Oh, Chronicles.
That one underrated. Underrated.
What? You thought that was good?
Yeah. I like that movie a lot. I was blown away with like how found footage can be used for other genres. That was the first time I've seen found footage not being told in a horror aspect.
I thought that was like a teen movie. I thought that was like in those adults, like adolescent films.
Motherfucker gets impaled at the end of it.
Well, don't spoil it.
It's been out for a decade. Come on, suck my nut.
Yeah, but like, what if I might have suggested. Okay, so
forget about these things. Don't worry.
You say that, but
so the budget of Skinamarink was apparently $15,000. And yeah, that's the big joke on like Twitter is motherfucker got paid, almost $2 million for filming his walls.
Dude, well, let me do that. I can do for free.
Listen. When I'm mentally stable, which might not happen, I'm down to make a movie with you. Okay?
See,
easy done.
I'm not gonna lie. The best creative minds are all insane. So let's make a movie one year.
I disagree with this.
Picasso was fucking lunatics, and look what he created. He created a legacy.
Was Picasso a lunatic, or is it all just myth?
I've read his biography.
Did you? You read the Picasso biography?
Oh, we had to for JT's class. Did you not read that?
No, I did not.
Then you fucking
readings for photography class. Why would we be reading about Picasso for photography?
I don't know. Why would JT give us these open book tests? Half of this fucking course didn't make any sense. You think I questioned it? I just passed it. So
then why are you grilling me? Fucking work out your logic here, buddy. You're gonna get destroyed in court one day.
What do you mean? What do you mean?
Look at this. No rebuts.
No buts. No, you're just mad.
No
Let's
buts.
just make a movie
What?
now, Panda. When you're in the state of mind, because you can get more creative that way. Let your demons fly, which is what I do all the time, and my writing is impeccable
Right.
and shit. It's
I
good,
mean,
good therapy. It's good therapy.
you know, I have some things to bounce off you, but like I don't want to intrude on your work ethics or.
Nah, you won't be. Fucking everything is in a tizzy right now, so I'm in a good creative space. Let's get this indie flick going. Let's we can actually get a grant from the government.
That's what I was gonna ask you is to find out the legal.
One of my homies actually did this, but for a separate thing, for like not a movie.
Right.
But,
I looked into it for in high school, and then I was like, I'm too stressed to like understand government mumbo jumbo.
right. Fair enough. Fair enough.
And also maybe I owe Serb money a little too much.
Oh, all right. Never mind.
That's are we talking about grants and shit?
Yeah.
Yeah, you
Well,
know they
that
don't
matters.
care. They don't look at you. No, they don't. They're not allowed to.
Hey, good to know.
Bailey
That's
can be our
personal
account.
credit. No, but I can show you where to get all the grants. I know where all that stuff works and where you can look.
Account. So once we get big, we'll be like, hey, Bailey, just take care of everything, and don't skim anything off the top, because, well, no.
I don't want to be an accountant. I need an accountant.
You can. Both my parents are accountants. You could ask their professions. I mean, ask their advice from what. It'll cost you though.
No, I don't need to get extorted by Papa and Mama Malik.
Well, do you think they're going to extort you?
Yeah, well, that's what it sounds like. It sounds like the deal you're setting up.
I mean, I would, but I don't think my parents would. They're better people than I am.
Are they?
Yeah. If you want to come after my parents,
I'm not coming after Papa and Mama. I'll give you a break. I'll give Papa and Mama a break. I got you. I'll lean off the gas. Brakes applied. Brakes applied.
Now who would lose in court? Still you.
I don't believe
Here's
that.
his words. Here's his words. Your Honor. It's cool that I can have practice for my lawyer family.
Yeah,
You're like,
whatever.
Can you just teach me? Can you just teach me free of charge? And I'm like, yeah, sure. You're my favorite cousin. Like, damn. Love you, Bailey.
I don't
is
love
Bailey
you anymore. I take my love back.
want to talk about? What is Bailey? He feels
You
like,
didn't include me. You didn't include me on any of your conversations, Raza. Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for asking what I think. I appreciate it. I feel very validated here.
Are you into what horror movies do you like?
Well, first off, I don't think any book or video game can be easily adapted just based on like people taking care or having knowledge about it. I think it has a lot more to do with like story structure and how those mediums are being adapted. You know what I mean?
I think those things intertwine though.
I not particularly, because humans. You were just saying you're missing action films and you miss just straight up fighting films that don't have a lot of plot devices to follow.
But video games.
So human likes bang bang. So sometimes adapting it means adding more bang bang rather developing the plot.
I mean, The Last of Us was a good example of developing a plot.
What about the Born Identity was a book first, wasn't it?
But we're talking, but like.
And in order to make that successful, they had to make it a lot more tense and flashy, right? Because otherwise, the book's just a guy with amnesia.
Yeah, no, but it's for games, because games is told in a completely different way than books. Games are told in more action-oriented things, right?
And
you have to like bring it down to where it's like.
See, and then that's no. I think it has to do with the perspective of the viewer. I don't think it's about like palpability or necessarily like how the story's being adapted. I think that specifically video games is it's more so the Last of Us is like being filmed in a way that like it still viably felt like you were controlling Ellie and Joel through the entire scenario. Like you still felt like you were
I
there
don't know.
along for the ride. You know what I mean?
I thought like this is like it's like I'm literally not. I'm in the back seat now. It's this is these characters are this is what happens when characters are on auto, and it turned out very well.
Okay, to rebuttal this, because like Assassin's Creed is very weird as far as a movie, because first off, it's PG, which again is up to the production company, right? So they're using, let's use this video game that's definitely not PG, and make a PG movie so all the kids go see it, right? And we'll get big actors to be in it, but then they get like an artsy director. So, which is why the sets look so fucking pretty.
Yeah, he did Macbeth, yeah.
Right. But then, I don't remember any fucking action from that movie. Like,
Yeah.
at all. Like, yeah, there's the famous drop and the opening sequence, but I don't remember any action after that. Now, if you got the guys who did John Wick to do an Assassin's Creed movie, do you think it would be different?
Maybe,
Yeah, because that's I think like more so that's like not on a conspiracy theorist sense. It's more based on the business side of Hollywood that they're not willing to try new guys. The reason you can get a John Wick style is because they went and got a lot of the people who worked on John Woo films or were inspired by John Woo films.
Yeah. And
you know?
the original director, and I even think the second one, because there was the first director and then they got another director for the last three, and they were all stunt doubles themselves.
Yeah.
And that's why, because they have the insight into what actually takes for action. So again, as long as you get someone who knows what they're doing, even if they don't know the video games, as long as you know the world. But again, The Last of Us did show that if you have the people who wrote and directed and starred in working alongside.
Yeah, like that's why I think like video game movies aren't the best way to do video game adaptations. TV shows for sure, because video game movies have to fill up 2 hours, and like they take an 8, 12, 10 hour or 10, 12 hour long story and just rush it down. That's why, like, remember the Prince of Persia movie back then? They got the Sand of Time part, they got that part, but then all of a sudden Prince had a British accent and he had a name. So
he was white.
And he was Jake Gyllenhaal, right? So it was sort of like Jake Gyllenhaal. So it was sort of like Jerry Bruckheimer he was just like, I made Pirates of the Caribbean. All right, I'm fucking let's fucking do the next cool thing ever. Ubisoft approach and be like, okay, you're good with big action set pieces. Let's bring that into our thing. And it didn't translate well because it's a different type of storytelling and a different type of way the story is told. That's why, like, I'm starting to see now a lot of people in Hollywood are also people who are involved with the gaming industry. For example, the guy who wrote Black Ops, I think the first Black Ops, wrote The Dark Knight Rises. I think.
Shit.
I could be wrong. Just double check, because Black Ops 1, it's 1 or 2. It's one of the Black Ops one, but he has the same airplane sequence in Dark Knight Rises in that Black Ops game. So I feel like if they like take their influences and bring them to a new medium, and then it'll translate well, which is kind of interesting how Call of Duty hasn't been made into a movie yet, because I feel like
I remember hearing that there was plans.
Yeah, I feel like that, even Battlefield, I feel like those movies are a little easier to make into movies because it's just a war. Make a war movie.
I mean, I'd love to see a zombies movie from Black Ops. You get those
out of nowhere. It was like,
yeah, but you get those four people from different countries. You know, the American, the Japanese guy, the Russian, and the German, and you have all these like culturally inappropriate jokes because at the time they're all at war with each other.
yeah.
And then being like, we have to work together, and the crazy German is why we're here in the first place, and
It's Yahtzee is why.
again, you have the setup, and then just have it get more and more extreme with fucking action and gore, and then have an ending set. That's all we want.
It can work in that type of movie, but now like the other interesting part is that games are becoming a lot more complicated. They're not becoming, let's make it straight action, shoot guns and whatnot. There are a lot of in-depth things like Stray. You're playing a cat.
Right.
That game is, if that gets into a movie, that would be kind of weird. But I don't know how it would. You guys,
Destiny the movie.
Destiny the movie. It would be a TV show, if anything, because of the seasons. But it's just, I think movies now, video games now, can have an easier time being adapted to another format because they're being told closer to a movie or a TV show. They're being told, they are kind of to a degree. They have same sort of like formats now. The whole narrative designs of them are being told in the same way. In some ways, I think video game stories are being told in a better way than movies are, because they have a lot more time explaining this. Which is why, if you're gonna make if you're gonna make a video game adaptation, you may have a better chance of telling it in a TV show.
Sorry, you sent me down a great little thing. So David S. Goyer.
Doom.
What is that? Ooh, that's a good one.
This Doom movie, the one coolest sequence of this one was the first person suit.
That's what everyone remembers.
Yeah.
It's basically Resident Evil in space.
Yeah.
With Rock. Thank you for showing us this treasure chest, Bailey.
That's the movie he's choosing.
We need to watch this movie then. I want to watch Doom and get Blem and like just do like a shot every time the Rock says something stupid.
I can't decide. I have a couple choices. I can't decide which way to go. Good Morning Vietnam came across my eyes too, and I was like, oh, that's some classic Robin Williams would be nice as well.
How about picking photo booth? There's a Neon Genesis reference in.
No, and it's 1 hour photo. And no, I want to pick something more related. Something to get wine. I want to get Wine Mom uncomfortable. That's the theme I decided to run with. I don't know why. It's what I decided to run with.
Is it because you want to make Wine Mom comfortable?
A little bit.
Okay, so then we should all pick movies to make each other feel comfortable based off that. So
that's why I think Good Morning Vietnam. I'm not just like showing her the horrors of war. I really want to watch Grave of the Fireflies, but that's going to be a sad one. She's not going to want to watch. That's too sad.
Surprisingly, haven't seen that anime yet. It's a good one.
Grave of the Fire. It's a classic anime, but it's about like the impacts of the nuclear bombs.
All right.
Okay, so, Raza, you brought up the writer from Call of Duty, right? So I'm going through, and I find David S. Goyer.
Yeah.
Right? Demonic Toys, Dollman versus Demonic Toys, The Puppet Masters, The Crow, City of Angels, Dark City, which is fantastic, then Nick Fury, Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., which was back when David Hasselhoff was in a TV movie as Nick Fury. Then Blade 2, Blade Trinity, Puppet Master versus Demonic Toys TV movie, Batman Begins the video game,
Jesus
Blade the series, Jumper.
What hasn't been done?
I know, Batman Gotham Knight, The Dark Knight, The Unborn, which I think he directed too, but anyways. Then Black Ops, Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance, The Dark Knight Rises, Black Ops 2, Man of Steel, Godzilla, Constantine, Batman vs Superman.
He has a weird a resume.
It gets weirder. Vader Immortal, a Star Wars VR series. Krypton. Vader Immortal, a Star Wars VR series, Episode 2.
Jesus Christ.
Terminator Dark Fate. Vader Immortal, Episode 3. Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. The Sandman. The new Hellraiser. Yeah, he's got a
He
weird...
also has uncredited writing roles for Pet Sematary 2, A Deadly Ground, Freddy vs. Jason, and Godzilla.
Wicked.
This guy's weird. He just is all over the place. I can't... Like, you know when writers and directors and producers have themes? I haven't really found one yet.
He likes weird shit.
He likes big budget stuff, from what I gather. He loves his set pieces. What's this? Bailey's just...
What?
Please text me. Okay, never mind. I thought it was Bailey. It does a wine mom in the chat.
Yeah, everyone's sick. Too sick for that party tomorrow.
What?
The party that me and Wine Mom were supposed to go to.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That's fair. You guys went a little too wild.
Blackening movie.
Yeah. Not even us, but like the person who's having the party.
Oh,
sick.
damn, 2A? That's
Yeah.
unfortunate.
So it got canceled, yeah. Are you going to
That's why I'm having that's why I'm tripping out right now. I'm trying to write that and then trying to say it at the same time. Yeah, I'm gonna go after we end around midnight.
Also, I enjoy every second of it. The blackening.
the Blackening?
Yeah. But yeah, are you still gonna go to that party, Bailey? I fucking zoned out for a second there.
Yeah, probably. I'm trying to decide on a movie before I finish.
Well, wow.
I've got a whole list pulled up. I just have to decide.
I'm gonna be out here in time to go visit C after this, but I can't go nuts. You know, I can just make a joke there.
Haha.
This is, oh my god. Okay, I think I picked my movie then.
I would just crash at Wine Mom's to make it easier, but I don't need to be in the sick den. You know what I mean? I'm not sleeping in the wolf's den.
You're not
I'm just
Rona.
begging to get sick, fam. I just don't need to get sick in general. I'm not scared of the Rona. I just don't need to get sick.
Remember?
So Jet Li Hero, how do we feel about Jet Li Hero?
Hero's decent.
Okay.
The question that needs to be answered.
Wine Mom will be like, even though I have subtitles on for everything, I don't know what happened.
Look at Jackie Chan movie from like the 80s or the 90s.
It's funny that you bring up Hero because me and my cousin, hopefully this isn't racist, but Jet Li makes a sound in it, and he's like...
I'm so glad your mic cut out.
Yeah, you were doing it so loud and you cut out.
And da-da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah, I got that.
Okay.
Yeah, I got that.
It's just so funny because like I don't think he's even saying anything. He's just like I don't know. Yeah.
Really, I've seen this movie, but I wouldn't mind watching it again. You know what movie we
Which
watched?
one?
Hero.
Okay.
No, but it's fine. I saw it like a while ago.
Continue
You
talking.
know what movie that like Pedro Pascal should own? The Green Wall.
Matt Damon.
And Matt Damon. I love how it's set in China.
Oh my god.
Two white dudes as like the main characters.
Completely forget that movie. Like I know that there's little dragons or something.
Pandas, should I run with my cheese theme? Should I do like Escape from New York?
Oh man, that's great.
Yeah,
I
that's
should
a
probably
good
do
pick.
Escape from New York. That's probably a good one. That's good for
Why not
stream
the
too.
OG? Has Wine Mom seen the OG Blade Runner?
No, but she loves the new one.
That's another good way of fucking. Harrison Ford. Who doesn't love Harrison Ford? Did you know? I think they're canceling. They're not moving forward with the new Indiana Jones
What's
movie.
happening?
I read that Disney Plus said, like yesterday said they're. Yeah, it was either I've been duped, I've been led astray.
Yeah, I think you have been because the movie's done already, and it's Steven Spielberg. So
Lucas Films reportedly told.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna do Escape from New York because I did Pitch Black, so I'll keep with my lighthearted.
Oh, Indiana Jones series.
Spin-off series. Okay, I wrote that wrong. Okay.
I think I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell's a good choice.
In what? Escape from New York?
Anything.
Yeah, Escape from New York. I like the John Carpenter beats, you know what I mean? Give me the John Carpenter instrumentals all day. Sorry?
A thing.
Sorry, Bailey. Wasn't there an LA one?
Yeah, it's not as good, but
yeah, it's whack.
It's okay, but it's very much a product of its time. As where Escape from New York, even though it's dated, is still perfect.
It's just like the right amount of cheese.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like Bruce Campbell's in LA.
And this is where you meet Solid Snake.
Kiefer Sutherland?
No, it's pretty much it's just Kojima totally stole this Kurt Russell character and turned him into Solid Snake.
I read that somewhere. I actually thought how he was heavily influenced by Solid Snake.
When you watch him talk in the movie, it's funny. It's like very similar.
Look at that.
Okay, we're watching Escape from New York.
Guess how he gets in? Guess how he gets into New York? Guess where he lands?
Oh, I forget.
Don't spoil it for me then, because I haven't seen it. So this is a movie that I need to watch then.
I need to remember this so we can laugh about it.
So is this a movie you're picking?
Yeah.
Bailey?
Yeah.
Oh,
We're gonna run with the cringe.
We're
gonna run with my cringe.
It's a good one.
Isn't John? Oh, you know, Kurt Russell apparently wrote or he did a screenplay for L.A.
Yeah, that's not surprising.
Is that why? Because he wrote it.
No, John Carpenter at some point started losing his edge, and he started getting bored of making movies in general.
Mm-hmm.
And he made some of the best fucking movies of all time. Like The Thing is hands down maybe the greatest horror film of all time.
Yeah.
Wine Mom would fight me on that, but it's perfection. Aside from the opening, which he didn't even want to have, which is the alien ship crashing. But,
yeah. Okay.
And then my music nerd shit is it's also like he was known like all the Halloween. You'll notice the Escape from New York is heavy since he was like heavily involved in composing all of the music for his films.
I love Bailey knows this about me. I love me some synthwave. So when I fucking hear some fucking 80s synthwave going on, I'm bricked.
Yeah, you're gonna be vibing.
Oh, it's heavy. It's great to sample these John Carpenter beats. It's like slower and more creepy.
Yeah, dum dum.
What kind of jokes, guys? I'm reading the character list, and it's like, now I get why Hideo Kojima took it, because Kurt Russell's character name is Lieutenant SD Snake Plissken. Plissken. So he's so I love. Yes, Hideo Kojima's a darling of the video game industry, but oh my god, dude. I'm gonna get a lot of hate for this, but like he's not creative with a lot of stuff.
Ooh.
He's
Kojima.
Oh, okay.
In his whole because I played enough of the Solid Snake games to understand that if this is a template, if Solid Snake is a template of Kurt Russell's character in this, I'm gonna lose my mind. I'm gonna go marbles. You will see an upset Raza on stream when we watch this movie.
Did he do?
Sorry, go ahead. I was just gonna give the hot take. The hot take is just Hideo's just like Kanye right? He's not necessarily the genius, but he knows how to bring all the parts together to make him look like the genius, you know?
That's pretty good. I want to be like that. I
want to confirm something before I start spitting facts.
Yeah.
Did he have anything to do with Resident Evil, or am I wrong? No.
The movies? No, I don't think so.
No, the games.
Yes. No, Capcom.
Yeah, okay. So anyways, it has nothing to do with Kojima, but the first Resident Evil, I think it is.
Yeah.
The whole fucking town is based off Kindergarten Cop. No cap.
What?
The school, the police department, they literally took like the layout from the visuals of the movie and were like, oh, this looks like a nice happy American town. We'll copy that and then make it all dark and have zombies walking around.
From Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. That's pretty ballsy.
I mean, Arnold was massive in the whole world, and like again, I think Arnold was like maybe one of the first American actors to actually like go over to Japan.
Austrian.
Sorry,
right?
My bad. But like, you know, like movie wise, American.
Yeah.
Right? But go over and do like, I'm promoting in Japanese, mushy mushy, drink the booster juice milk. Whoa, like those kinds of commercials, right? So he was a massive influence in like the Japanese culture, and
he's gonna have his first new show coming out later on this year.
Arnold, because fucking Sylvester Stallone is doing one. Arnold's like,
what is he?
Yeah, there's some like drug show Sylvester Stallone's doing.
Man, did I tell you I saw Creed 3? It's so weird when him not in it.
Yeah, he turned it down, and then
I did not know he owns the rights to Rocky. Like he owns that shit.
Oh yeah, he got that a long time ago.
And again,
he built
Rocky
a dynasty.
He's the reason why Rocky got made.
Oh really?
Yeah, without like you can even see when they run out of money in the movie, they just leave the trucks with all the filming equipment on the street as he walks past them, and his brother is like one of the guys he talks to on the street.
Okay.
Like they went broke making that movie, and then it was a success.
Yeah, it's crazy how much of an influence, like a positive influence, or even a legacy, that movie has, or the series has. But his newest show, Arnold Schwarzenegger's newest show, is called FUBAR, which stands for Fucked Up Beyond All Repair. Is an upcoming spy adventure television series created by Nick Santora for Netflix. It stars Arnold Schwarzenegger in his first leading role in a scripted television series produced by Skydance. He plays a father-daughter duo. Luke and his daughter Emma lied to each other for years. Both of them.
Oh yeah, I've seen this. They're really trying to get. They think they're trying to get Gen Z, but they're really aiming for like the moms of Gen Z with this movie.
And Raza.
Yeah.
It's Raza's teaser.
Yeah.
Okay. As where if you look at Tulsa King, this show, it's a Paramount Plus original with Sylvester Stallone, and it actually looks good.
Tulsa King.
It looks pretty. I keep getting YouTube shorts of it.
Oh, I've seen ads about this. This is like, in my head, when I see an old actor going into a show, I'm just like, this is going to be like a very slow moving train. That's what I'm going to get. But if it's good, then I'll check it out.
Well, yeah, there's a bunch of other huge people.
I saw Suicide Squad, like the newest one, for like the third time, and I keep on forgetting that he's in it as
right, King Shark. Yeah.
You would
King
like
Shark.
that movie. watch the next, like the new Suicide Squad. It's actually not like bad.
I like my James Gunn.
Oh my god, that's why. I have you seen Super, Raza?
I believe so.
With Rainn Wilson and Elliot Page.
Yes, where he gets like yes, where yes. I've seen this. It's like a.
I was telling Bailey about it because
Yeah.
I was watching those ground level comic book movies, right?
Yeah,
Defendor, Mystery Men, and then I watched Atomic Blonde again last night.
Atomic Blonde is good. Surprisingly good. Good. You should also watch that Sylvester Stallone one, Vigilante. It's pretty bad, but watch it.
Oh, I heard about that one.
It's just like a kid. I'm a washed up. I'm a washed up. How does Sylvester Stallone sound? Hey, I'm a washed up. Can't do my. I'm a washed up. I'm a washed up superhero.
Adrian.
I'll keep on shitting my pants. But yeah, okay, so it's good. I like this pick, Bailey. It has my approval.
Has your approval?
Yeah.
I'm listening to the beats from it right now. I'm going on a beat dig.
It was a simple movie to follow along because like I don't need to pay enough.
Oh, it's simple.
It's very simple, yeah.
But for this, I feel like I want to pay attention to it.
Oh, absolutely. You should look at all the detail.
Yeah, it's fun. Like you're talking about that with the last movie. It's one of those. It's like John Carpenter was like obsessive with like making sure that it felt right. So it can look cheesy at sometimes, but it still feels atmospheric the whole time, even if it's not the best set.
Is there a remastered version of it, like a high def version?
I believe so. I have it on Blu-ray already, so
I'll check. I'll probably pick that up then.
I think it came out in 4K as well.
Okay.
What are those?
Sorry, go. Sorry.
No. I'm trying to think while I'm Googling. Barnacle Boy from SpongeBob. Who was his partner?
Oh, shit.
Oh, I know what you're talking about now. Yeah.
Mermaid Man.
Yeah.
Mermaid Man is in Escape from New York. The voice actor. He's the taxi cab driver.
All right. I will pay attention to that then.
I don't know if you're a SpongeBob fan.
I fucking love SpongeBob. What are you talking about? I'm like, I don't mean to be like an attack, but like I genuinely love SpongeBob. That's one of my like I lost it when I heard Mr. Crab and promising a young woman.
That's a good thing.
Yeah. But from what I gather, like. Yeah, from what I gather, all like I'm on Twitter, I'm sorry, on Reddit, and they're saying watch this movie in 4K or it's enhanced edition because it's apparently the way how it's shot. It works well in like the high def.
I agree.
This one, or what are we talking about? Okay.
From New York.
From New York. Okay,
yeah, I guarantee. It's been a while since I've seen it, but I guarantee that the beginning when it uses special effects, like it's very early special effects. You got to keep that in mind. Okay. I guarantee it's gonna look so fucking cheesy, but it's also great.
I mean, I did see Pitch Black. That was in 2000, and that's special effects were kind of dated, but I still got it's from an era of technology was changing, so I understood where it's coming from. So this one, it's fine. Like Terminator. I saw Terminator like a couple of weeks ago, like the first one. It still holds up. Aliens Part 2. Second Aliens holds up to this day. Why do you pick that movie, Bailey? Fuck.
No, I want part of the cheese. I like this.
It's an Aliens 3. Alien 3 is cheesy as fuck.
That's okay. That's too meh.
That's a David Fincher movie, but even he didn't like how it. Yeah, he didn't like being part of it.
Oh, didn't know that. I guess for mine, we're gonna be watching the 1980s Dune.
Ooh, I've got that ready to go. Actually, David Lynch.
But do you want to end stream here? I kind of want to get some food.
Yeah, I kind of don't want to see your face anymore anyways, Raza. Thanks for telling me you don't love me anymore. I appreciate that. Yeah, all right, fine. Okay, go. Just go. All right. Okay, just go home. All right. It's all right. It's all right. It's all right. It's okay.
I'm already home.
It's okay.
This is why people call him my wife.
Bailey, bring me chicken nuggets when you're up the street.
Chicken nuggies.
I'll bring you chicken. How am I? Oh, I have to deliver chicken nuggets to you. My brain broke there. I was like, what do you mean? I have to make chicken nuggets? How's this gonna work?
We can both get wasted and go knock on Wine Mom's door.
Oh yay! The den of sickness.
I would love that.
Oh my
Yeah,
God,
we'll bring the fried animal with us.
I have cleaned the den, Bailey. All right. That's what my wine mom has said. Don't respond.
Was she in chat?
Sign off right now before you respond. Jesus Christ.
Yes, Captain. All right, guys. I appreciate you guys for coming through. We got a little low energy there by the end, but Bebe's a bit tired. Raza's a bit tired. It's been a grind. It's day 24 of March Madness. So if you have been tuning in this long, you would have seen a wide variety of content coming from us, and we actually have more coming. I'm doing a cooking stream with Wine Mom tomorrow. I'm probably going to be tired because I've been busting my ass. Panda, when he has time, he will come to your door if you call 911 and misdial and put a 9 at the end. So that's 9119, and he will show up, and no promises. He'll just do what he can. And sometimes that means just leave. But
and on well, why am I here? Just walk away completely. I can see Panda doing that. Also on Sunday, Bailey and I are going to be doing,
I don't know,
F1, but we're not going to watch the race. We're going to do something else while we watch.
We're going to play the game and then probably just babble about what we've been doing for the month.
And then we have a special surprise for you, but I think Bailey kind of prematurely ejaculated it a couple days ago on stream.
Sounds like what I'm good at.
That's, you didn't need to do that to yourself. Anyways, we have a special surprise for you guys at the end of the month. Hopefully, if everything works out, if I don't get sick next, if Bailey doesn't somehow get sick.
That's why I don't want to go to the den, bro. I can't go to the den.
Can go to the den. So anyways, we will see you on Monday with our podcast. But as per usual, hit the like and subscribe. Follow us on Twitch, TikTok, Instagram, Spotify, YouTube, Instagram. Twitch.
And Raza, who should they tell about us?
Tell your mama, tell your daddy, but most importantly, tell grandmommy about us. And if you have a grandpappy, tell that fool too.
Later, guys. Oh, Panda, shoutouts. Any shoutouts? Panda shoutouts.
Panda. I don't know. I'm sick right now, but I do want to be doing things soon. So find my link tree. That's it.
All right. Thanks for watching this VOD. We appreciate you guys.